Planet Coaster has a lot to go over, and today I am your one-stop shop for checking out every single thing in Planet Coaster 2. And by every single thing, I mean every single thing. Look at the damn timestamp, oh my god. Every single tracked ride, every single flat ride, every single coaster, every single staff type. Oh, you want all the foliage, all the rocks, all the nature items, all the scenery items, all the build sets? I got you covered, bro. But enough stalling, this video's long enough as it is. Let's jump into every single new thing that comes with Planet Coaster 2. My name is Leaf and thank you for stopping by the channel. So here we are in the nature section of the overview video. We have a lot of stuff to go through and we have a lot of fantastic pieces to check out. First and foremost though, we're gonna check out these lovely rock pieces. Not so lovely though. I have some very small qualms with them. Let's take a look at some of these in a little bit more detail. We have the tropical set right up here. We have the Mediterranean set right down here. We have the temperate set right here, as well as the taiga set right up here. Now, eagle-eyed viewers from both Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster fandoms might notice we're lacking a few different sets in here. We're lacking some grassland sets, we're lacking some desert sets, which is very puzzling. That's probably one of my biggest qualms with this game, and there's some small stuff upon further detail that, like, kinda comes to fruition that I'm not really the biggest fan of. First and foremost, we can see that they do have dynamic textures on the temperate and the taiga rocks, which is very cool. So it depends on how they're oriented. The moss always goes on the top of the rock, which is cool. It's very cool. However, this is where my main issues come into play. These are the tropical rocks, and you might notice that they have repeating textures, which, once you actually view them from far away, they're not exactly the best pieces. I don't know, it looks kind of strange to me, especially given the fact that Frontier has constantly set the bar for innovating pieces, for constantly pushing the bar with quality. I mean, just looking at these ones right here, they don't look bad from afar, but you can kind of still see that repeating texture. However, maybe it's just because there's a higher contrast on the tropical rocks, where it makes it look a little bit, I don't know, a little weird. However, these rock sets are going to be extremely useful if you are building with these in mind. I can especially see the Mediterranean set being very helpful for when it comes to Greek builds. And the best part about all of these is that they're all scalable. They all scale down extremely well. There's about the minimum for some of the smaller pieces, then the bigger ones can kind of get a little bit more clumpy too, which is very cool. Actually, that's a really awesome way to kind of create rock clusters right there, so maybe you can experiment with that stuff. However, they can scale up extremely large too, so you can make extremely big looking rock structures with all of these, which is very helpful. However, that's not the only rocks that we have. We also have a few over here. We're just going to look at the entire aquatic set. This is basically all of the coral and all of the rocks that you get. Now, technically, coral is supposed to be an animal, so they should really start to implement animal systems. I'm kidding, of course. Also, barnacles are technically animals or crustaceans, which is very cool. However, one of the coolest things about this entire set over here is that all of this is indeed flexi-color. I absolutely love how much ability we're going to have with all this stuff. Even like, there's so many slight variations that you can do with these. You can have like some really cool looking stuff, but yeah, that's really the bulk of that. All of these are flexi-color. Play around with it on your own time, because Lord knows I don't have the time in this video. It's going to be so long as it is, but, you know, they're going to be very much flexi-color for your own abilities. Checking out these pieces too, there is a little bit of an issue that I do have with some of these, is that let's just turn these all black. Okay, we're going to turn those all black, then we're going to change those highlights to yellow. Now, typically that would be pretty good. I would absolutely love that. However, we switch it to nighttime and they kind of come alive, which it's not terrible. I honestly really do like that. I think it's a very cool effect. However, these are extremely good rock pieces for the purpose of making faux rock work, or at least more detailed cliffs, which I personally love doing. However, that little brightness really kind of sets a bad tone, in my opinion, for, I don't know, say for example, you're making like these really nice faux rock cliff pieces, and then you switch it to nighttime, and then all these are just, they just start glowing, which is not really what I would like to see in there. However, if you switch it to black and you change all the rocks to black, I guess it really doesn't come across that way. So that's at least something that you can do. But again, the coral pieces kind of light up. I wish there were a way to kind of trigger that on and off, which would be extremely helpful. I mean, these are great pieces, but think about how other people will build in Planet Coaster. They're gonna build stuff like flipped upside down. This could be a really good plate or something. Just imagine people putting like apples or fruit on that for like a little bit of decoration. I just wish we had more options to make stuff a little bit more flexible, and by that I mean FlexiColor, but that's basically the bulk of the aquatic theme right there. I really should have organized this stuff beforehand, but here we have basically the entire planters set. We have a very basic one right here, which again, this is all FlexiColor, so you can change out the marble highlights right over there, which is very cool. And then you can also change out the kind of base color right there. So if you want to change that out for like, you know, one with like a little bit of like yellow peeking through, or if you're doing kind of like an evil kind of theme, you can kind of have the black and like red kind of peeking through, which is really, really cool. I love that. My only issue is these are a little bit too, I don't know, shiny for my liking, which is very good that we have this set right over here. This seems very much like the classic Planco set from like back in the day, which is very helpful. So you can definitely change these colors out for whatever meets your heart's content. We have a couple modern ones from both the Planet Coaster set. Very cool stuff over here. Just very simple. It reminds me of Epcot, but yeah, just really awesome pieces. We got some resort ones, which are more so plaster than anything else, which I love these. These are so beautiful. You don't even need to use them in a resort setting. These are just helpful for any setting whatsoever. If you're doing like, I don't know, maybe you're doing kind of like that lava theme I was talking about. That's a really good technique right there. You can have kind of red peeking out right over there. This is super flexible, super customizable, and it's so awesome to see it, especially with the Viking set right over here. You can do kind of like a birch kind of theme. So you can change all these colors out for a little bit more of a grayer kind of look, which is very cool. Just get creative with this stuff. This is part of the fun of entirely flexible sets. Again, these barrels are all FlexiColor, so you can do some really awesome stuff with that. Maybe you can even make Wicker Man with all those. I don't know. But here's that last planter set that we also have in here. We'll see a lot of the stuff, like just a little bit of overlap in the actual other one, like the building video, I guess, overview. You can change out the pebbles, which is awesome. So if you're not really a fan of those pebbles, if you want a little bit more of like a mulch color, you can do that. But you can change out the bamboo colors, which I absolutely love. Look at that. So you can make green bamboo. Very awesome stuff right there. However, we have a lot of foliage to get through, so we might as well start at the back over here. A lot of these are not FlexiColor. There are a few special FlexiColor plants in here, but we do have 3 versions of the sugar maple, which again, if we kind of select all these, then use our X key to change the scale. You look at that. Everything is scalable, so you can have some really good stuff in the background, or you could have some really small details up close. We also have quaking aspens making a return. We have the white birch tree looking absolutely beautiful. I love these so much. Really beautiful pieces once again. This goes really heavy with that Greek theme. Again, we have the olive trees. Very beautiful. We also have the Scots pine making an appearance as well. One of my favorite Planet Zoo trees right there. Very lovely form on these guys. Very, very useful. Ponderosa pines as well. Very staple. Very much a staple of like North America pine trees and stuff. I don't know, very beautiful piece. We have the Indian almond tree, which has grown to be one of my favorites, because if we take this piece right here, then scale it down, we get some really nice foliage cover. I absolutely love working with stuff like that. It just looks awesome. We have this over here, the sycamore maple. Again, another very classic tree piece, very much synonymous with like American and like European parks and stuff like that. Very beautiful. We also have, I believe this is all a set. Yeah, we also have the weeping willow. Again, a very iconic tree. Absolutely adore this one right here. I mean, just look at that. Of course, there's not really any physics on these, so you can kind of switch them up kind of like that. And I don't know, you can actually do some really cool like tall grass with that technique. I don't know. It's going to be really cool. You just got to cover up the little dangly bit right here, which is kind of wobbling in a way that I particularly do not like. Making our way down here, we have the London plane tree, again with those very iconic kind of like bark strips. Very cool. We have the black poplar trees, which are again very helpful. Very tall plant over there, so it's extremely helpful for a lot more manicured, a lot more beautiful looking park areas. We have the king fern, which is one of my favorites from Planet Zoo, and again, very incredible foliage cover right over here. You shrink these down to about minimum, and then you can start to place these all around. It's super helpful. And then again, the Planet Zoo plants just keep on making an appearance. We got the Kentia palms, which again are just very awesome foliage cover. Think about doing like a tropical park you put around all of these guys, and it helps it really sell the vibe. It's so helpful. We have some Bengal bamboo. This is the only bamboo we have, right? Yeah, so we only have one bamboo set, which I don't know, maybe we'll get like the normal bamboo soon. But yeah, this is also a very helpful piece right here. I love the texture of it this time around. Again, it's only 2D planes. I could talk your ear off about like how this actually works. I don't know, it's very cool. But yeah, it's just 2D planes right now, which is, you know, it's all right. Very cool. It's going to be so helpful for like frame rates though. It looks very cool from afar. Very cool pieces over here too. These are laurel bushes. Again, a very awesome kind of temperate plant right here. Again, scalable, which is very helpful. Lady ferns, once again, if you combine these with the king ferns over there, you'll get some really, really awesome terrain coverage. Very beautiful. And we also have individual pieces over here too for any like, you know, gardening techniques that you want to do. Very awesome stuff. If we look right behind the hedges right over here, we can also see the cypress trees. These are very awesome, especially when you mix them with these pieces right over here. So yeah, the LODs on these aren't the best, but these are the bald cypress knees. In case if you are unaware, bald cypresses actually grow their roots out towards the sun so that they can actually breathe from the air. It's very cool. It's very iconic for like Everglades. So if you're doing like, I don't know, like an Everglades pool, that would be so awesome. Oh my gosh. And what is a planet coaster game without topiaries? We have a whole bunch of them in here. We have Queen Splash and King Coaster. We have a bunch of other general ones that you can kind of fit together to make whatever you want. However, I love this one right here. You want to know why? You flip this on its side, tuck it down into the ground just a little bit, and you can get some really, really awesome looking grass. So let's just say, for example, you want that kind of like, you know, that very classic, I don't know how you describe it, that very manicured lawn kind of look. You combine a bunch of these together, you got them going in like kind of even rows. I'm not doing this perfectly because, you know, we're just doing an overview video, but look at that. Like you can make that really awesome kind of texture looking stuff right there. And it's also just really good grass coverage. I don't know, it's very cool. We have the banana trees as well. Very awesome. Banana palms, technically. Very awesome piece right there. I love the little details that they have now. Very, very, very awesome. Over here, we have bracken ferns. Once again, the fern pieces are just going to be so helpful for making those really forested areas come out together. We also have the bramble bush. Very awesome piece right here too. Again, all scalable, so you can do some really tiny ones or you can do some really big ones. Maybe you can do like a briar patch on that. The aloe vera is one of our first flexicolor plants in here, so you can do some really, really cool stuff. I'm already thinking of how people might be able to do yucca plants. Yucca plants are very synonymous with like oh man, what is South American stuff. So you could do some really cool stuff with that. I don't know, get creative with it. But yeah, these are flexicolor, which is always helpful. Acacia trees, look at these, the best ones yet. In case if you guys have missed it, I'm working on like an African zoo in Planet Zoo right now, and I'm not using those acacia trees because they look like dookie. But these ones are so freaking beautiful. I don't know. The colors on here just work so well. And again, very awesome foliage cover for like bushes and stuff. Very great piece right there. We also have the Aleppo pine trees right over here. Very beautiful piece. Again, very tall, very synonymous with like kind of Mediterranean kind of like environments, which is very cool. I love this piece. And some very good cover from before make an appearance. The Scavlovia, otherwise known as Beach Cabbage, makes a triumphant appearance once more. Did they fix the hitboxes on these though? I really wonder. Oh my gosh, I think they might have fixed the hitboxes on these relatively well. I don't know, that's cool. And besides that, we also have the Arrowwood Bush, which again, these are just very helpful. Scale them up, scale them down, and you can get some really cool terrain coverage. Besides that, we also have cattails over here, or bulrush reeds, however you want to call them. Very helpful piece for making swamps and stuff like that. These kind of snuck their way right next to the aquatic plants, but we'll move them out of here. These are just the barrel cactuses. We don't have any saguaros, which again makes my kind of theory of we're gonna get like a desert or western pack soon kind of more on the nose. But yeah, we definitely do have these beautiful pieces right here. I think we also have an individual one, which again, with scaling, this is all I've ever wanted. We can do some really big ones, and we can do some really tiny ones, which is so helpful. Over here, we have the Blackthorn Bush, which again, guys, this is perfect. Look at this. We can change the colors of these. I love that. That's an awesome looking bush right there, but you can kind of change them to be all different kinds of colors. You can really have your imagination come wild with these. This is all I've ever wanted. Just flexi colored plants. That is exactly what I wanted. And yeah, you can do a lot of creative stuff with that. You can change them to be green, so you can do a little bit more of like a pine looking thing. I don't know, it's so helpful. All right, we're gonna continue back over here too. I have these pieces right over here. White birch, we already checked those out. All right, let's check these. Black spruce, very cool right over here. You got like the black bark texture, very awesome piece. Very good for taiga theme zoos, very awesome. We have the coconut palms, again, making a triumphant appearance. We have 4 different versions of them, all scalable, so you can do some really big ones, or you could do some little baby tiny ones. Very helpful stuff. Very helpful piece over here too. We got the date palms, again, very incredible texture on that. Very cool to actually see how that works, but just don't get too close. Very awesome pieces once more. We have the desert palms, desert fan palms specifically. I love these so much. They just look incredible. These are the European larches, a very beautiful piece, again, for helping to fill out any tropical themed, not tropical, taiga themed areas. Oh my gosh. The oak tree, once again, how can we have a game without an oak tree? I love the small version of it. It's so beautiful, but these big beefy boys, very awesome stuff right there. I also have this section back here that I did not cover. We have the kapok trees. This is incredible because we get like this really awesome foliage cover one, which I'm not really too sure what's going on up there. Maybe Frontier will make a fix for that, but that does come with the purpose because that is probably retextured from this one right over here. These are just like the big foliage covers, the clusters really. They don't have bottoms, as you can see, but if you're working on like, you know, some background pieces and you just want to fill out the rest of your zoo with that, this is a super easy way to get a low poly, low frame rate affecting kind of, I don't know, background cover, which is so helpful. I don't know. I love that stuff because that's just set dressing that you typically see back in like the yonder regions of a map. But it's so helpful that Frontier was finally able to give us some stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, you have your more high definition kapok trees as well as this tiny one. It's so beautiful. All right, continuing on from over here, we got the elm tree. Very awesome looking piece right there. Again, just a very nice park piece. Again, ash trees. Nothing much to say about those guys, but they're very helpful. We have Crimson King Maple. Wish this one were flexi color. Look at the colors on that though. Beautiful. We have a eucalyptus tree, the blue gum eucalyptus tree. Look at that. Again, just a really awesome foliage piece for like just general top cover. This is something I always felt was missing in Frontier games, is just really tall kind of tree pieces that don't have branches that come down at like guest level. That was always such an annoyance to me. So actually having pieces that start the branches up high yonder is so helpful. Beautiful pieces over here. We have the Japanese cherry trees as well as the Japanese maple. Just 2 really awesome pieces. I don't know. Juniper trees as well. I love the juniper bush. Like, this is awesome. You want to talk about good foliage cover, this is it right there. Especially if you're doing kind of like a Nordic themed zoo, or Nordic themed park. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be annoying to get into. Yeah, you can definitely use those pieces. Skyrim, yeah. We have Italian cypresses, which of course are very, very iconic for, like, you know, your general park cover. Again, just scale down the big one. You get some really awesome, really beautiful manicured ones. This one right over here, the fig trees, absolutely beautiful. Again, I love using these as kind of general foliage cover. That just goes for everything. Just assume I'm gonna say foliage cover. We have the trellises and the grape pieces over here, very much, again, with that Greek theme. You can change out the wood colors, but you can't change out the grape colors. So I'm sorry, white wine fans, you're not allowed in Frontierland. We have yucca plants, which I mentioned earlier, which is so funny. But yeah, you can kind of combine these with the aloe vera to make, like, you know, the big blooms that they usually have. We have Nikau palms, which are absolutely beautiful. Probably one of my favorite pieces in my current park that I'm working on. So excited for you guys to see that. But again, it's just a very fantastic piece. Over here, the lovely little flowers make a reappearance, and again, they're all flexi color. If you want to change them all to green, it makes for some really, really awesome kind of foliage cover as well. I don't know. But yeah, they come in all different sorts of shapes and sizes. They have the mulch on the bottom, so in case if you do want like a different mulch texture, there it is for you. Oh boy, the ivy. Ivy is so helpful, especially in like a park builder. These are so beautiful though. They're so textured, they're so layered, so it doesn't look flat anymore. Not sure what's happening with the LODs once again over there, but hey, it happens. Lovely pieces over here too. These are the foxgloves, and again, you can kind of change them out for whatever color you want. These are very cool as well. They are the ice plants, which is very, very interesting. They came out with the Oceania pack with Planet Zoo, and you can change out their flowers for whatever you want. It's just a really cool looking succulent. I don't know, very cool stuff. The periwinkles as well from Planet Zoo make a lovely reappearance. We have two different, actually no. We have one version of them, which is all right. And you can change the colors on their flowers over here, so you can make whatever flower fields you want to make. The heather plants over here are very awesome. You can change these guys out for whatever colors you want to. Very helpful, once again, for making that general foliage cover. I don't know, it's just so awesome to finally have pieces like that. Elephant ears, I'm sure you guys already know how I feel about these. They are beautiful. We also have these ones over here, desert ironwood bush. Again, you can change these out for whatever color you want, so you can make whatever kinds of foliage you want. It's going to be so helpful. Yeah, part of one of my favorite things about this community is you give them foliage, they'll make 100 different types of foliage, and especially making them flexi color now, especially this one right over here. Oh my god, the creosote bushes, so helpful. We have the dry versions, and we also have the flowerless versions and the flowered versions, all extremely helpful. And we also have common reeds, again, very much like the bulrushes. You can make some really awesome aquatic areas with those. The wisteria makes a lovely, lovely reappearance, again, because you can make them flexi color again, so you can do whatever the hell that you want with these. So cool. You can change them out to be like creamsicle colored, I guess. I don't know, very cool stuff. And again, the wisteria foliage over here makes for really awesome terrain coverage. Just helps to really define grass a little bit more when you look at it from afar. I don't know. And hey, it's my namesake. It is the Monstera. It is the Swiss cheese plant. I have one right next to me. Everyone say hi to my Swiss cheese plant. Beautiful, beautiful looking plant over here. I love it so much. We have the lipstick palms, very iconic looking palm tree right there. I don't think I've ever seen one in real life, but they just look so funky. I don't know. We have the wild garlic plant, which is a very cool one. Again, flexi color, so you can change them out for whatever color you want. Just don't let the vampires near there. Okay, I was mistaken. We also have another cactus. We have the prickly pear cactus, which again, scalable. Every plant in here is scalable, I believe. Sunflowers, not flexi color, but hey, what are you gonna do? We also have wheat patches. Very weird how we don't have these in Planet Zoo, especially given the fact that we did just have a farm pack. But yeah, really awesome piece right here. We have roses making an appearance once again, so you can get your Animal Crossing on and change these out and get your kind of like crossbreeds. You can get your black roses, your blue roses, everything that you want. And of course, that bush is very helpful. Look at that. We have rhododendron bushes, both without flowers as well as with flowers, which is very helpful. Again, they're basically hydrangeas, so you can kind of change out their color for whatever hydrangeas you have. I have some in my yard and they are very beautiful. And what are these over here? I think, yeah, blackthorn bush. So I believe that honestly covers it for all the foliage. It honestly doesn't look like much from above, but given the flexicolor abilities of like so many of these flowering plants, I think so many people are going to find so many incredible ways to really make their parks come to life and really help give some definition to the workshop. And speaking of the workshop, if you did want to go check out all of these plants already pre-placed, I did put them all on the workshop, so once this loads. So yeah, all foliage, one blueprint. Hey, subscribe to me. But yeah, it's all in one blueprint, so if you guys want to check that out, whether you're on console or on PC, you can go check that stuff out. But yes, that covers it for all of the foliage and all of the nature items. Let's pop over to something else. So here we are in the ride overview. I've combined both flat rides and all tracked rides, all transport rides, as well as all coasters over here. I don't have complete circuits for any of the coasters or most of the kind of tracked rides because I feel like we just get a good look at them and we can kind of talk about their special features once we actually get to them. Now, the main things I will be pointing out for all of these is, can you attach scenery to it? And is there any other kind of stuff that you can kind of do with it? So we'll start off with the flat rides. We're going to look at the miscellaneous ones first. We have kind of a magic carpet one right back here that is called the board slide. We have the dodgems over here, which is the bumpin' derby. Very cool. We have the Helter Skelter. I feel like Ringo's going to kill me for that pronunciation, but very classic ride right there. And we also have Buoyancy, which is part of that classic rides collection. Now, this overview is going to combine both, like, you know, the DLC, the first DLC that came out, the pre-order stuff, as well as base game stuff. So if you don't have something in your game, definitely do check out the shop and see how you can get it. Some of these are going to be pre-orders only though, like I believe the Cube is, but yeah. So yeah, let's check out that Bumpin' Derby. You can see ride sequence is just bump around. Reminds me of college. So in order to actually attach scenery to stuff, you have to close the ride. But as you can see, you can customize all of the little derby cars, which is going to be very interesting. So now you can do like very custom ones. So I don't know, if you have like a super themed park, you can have a lot of fun with that. And again, the Helter Skelter, you can also add stuff on there. You can change the sequence, so you can have a slow ride, you can have a fast ride, yada yada. Buoyancy over here, you can have a gentle submerge and a thrill submerge. Very cool stuff, as well as you're able to attach scenery to, I believe, this little guy right here. Oh yeah, that is so cool. So you can kind of decorate this little guy up, so maybe you could have like, you know, I don't know, the Titanic submarine in here. I don't know. As well as the board slide, again, you can customize that guy right over there. And you can also change the sequence over here to be standard, stall turn, rail slide, drifting, all that good stuff. And as you can see right here, you have all of the specials. Moving on from there, we have the wheel rides. So these are pretty much all your Ferris wheels or your just general rotational thrill rides. I love this guy over here. This is the Tiny Eye, and it's super customizable. They have these little egg-shaped little things, I guess, I don't know, carriages. But you can decorate those to your heart's content, as you can see in the trailer. We have a few lovely Ferris wheels too. I love these so much. We have this one, which is a little bit of a mix between a gentle and a thrill one. So these do kind of rock back and forth, these carriages, which is very awesome. I wish we had some that like it alternated. I'm not sure if any other ones do. Yeah, if it alternated between both the kind of swirly ones as well as just static ones, I feel like that would be such a really good addition right there, but that just is so incredible. They are, of course, fully customizable as well, so you can kind of make that to your heart's content. We have Big Wheel right over here, your very run-of-the-mill Ferris wheel. Again, you can attach scenery to it, you can change whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise, and again, that goes for the same for all of these other guys too. This is the Hellion Ring, which is very, very cool. So it's a thrill ride that just goes around in a circle. And again, you can attach any custom scenery to it to really make it really stand out. Here we have the Kickflip, otherwise known as the Zipper from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I might be wrong. Again, a very, very thrilling ride right there. I'd be too scared to ride that. But again, you can attach your custom scenery to it to make it very customizable. And here we have Radius. It is the final kind of Ferris wheel over here, which is very cool. They kind of swing just a little bit, which is very awesome. But it's a lot more industrial, which is kind of cool. But yep, that pretty much covers it for all of the wheels right there. Big wheel, Hellion. We got the kickflip, Radius, Star Wheel, and Tiny Eye. We're gonna check out our drop rides right now, which again, these, yeah, I'm personally not the biggest fans of these for reasons that other creators have mentioned. I wish we could kind of customize how tall they could be, because, I don't know, what if you want this guy? What if you want the classic Resurgence over here to be twice as high? What if you want your sky elevator only to go up to like right there? I don't know, it's just very puzzling to me. But yes, you can change these ride sequences, which is very cool. You can bungee, low pause, hop, shot, free fall, all that lovely stuff. And you can attach scenery to all of these, which again is just fantastic. There's some rides, however, where you can't, but we'll get to those in a bit. And yeah, the monsoon chute over here is just really, really fun because it's a water ride too. Hold on. Yeah, it just splashes the guests. It's very fun. And of course, we have the Screaminator, which is again just another thrill drop ride, which is kind of cool. But one of my favorites over here is the Skywatcher. It's just so much more scenic than the other ones. I don't know. I love kind of stuff like this. You can see my mess of a park right down there. But yeah, if you really wanted to, you can close it down and then you can start to attach scenery to this. You can have it be right there, then it rotates around. I don't know, that's kind of cool. But yes, for all of those tower drop rides, you currently have 5 that you could possibly get in the game. Screaminator, Sunflare, Skywatcher, Resurgence, as well as the Monsoon Chute, all very cool and very unique from each other. All right, we'll check out the spinning ones right now. This one is one of the pre-order exclusive ones. This is the Cube. It's basically just a giant gyroscope, which is fun. But most of these, I'm sure if you're already kind of a theme park fan, you've noticed a lot of these. We have Full Flight right over here, which is very cool. Those arms lift up and it does a little bit of suspense for the guests. We have Forge over here, which is very much like a claw, very cool. And again, all of these have their own little ride sequences, so you can have it go however you want. I don't know, I just love that kind of stuff. I do wonder if you can attach stuff to the seats. And you can, which is going to be very interesting to see what people are capable of. I checked out the merry-go-round earlier, so you can actually customize each individual little horse, each individual little carriage in here. I'm so excited to see what people are able to do with all of that. It's going to be so cool. But I do wish we had a little bit more of a basic one. I feel like now that we can add so many things to rides, even though these are kind of simple, I wish we had even simpler ones, just like the seats. Just imagine the seats and all the custom stuff that people could do from there. This one right over here, the Collider, otherwise known as the Enterprise, I think people also call it. It's just a very cool rotational one. Over here is the Hyperspin. Again, all of these are customizable, which is incredible. It just makes me so happy. But you can loop them, you can do a reverse loop, you can make that into the sequence. It's awesome. Frenzy Frill right here, which kind of oscillates between like up and high and then down low with like little swinging seats. That's very awesome. This is one of my favorites right over here. I think I went on one of these in Germany for Oktoberfest? I don't know. But this is Monte Leon. It's just a very classic, very antique looking ride. And yeah, just a whole bunch of like swing, spin, spin reverse, spin canopy, spin reverse canopy. I don't know. It's just awesome. We have your classic teacups rides. Again, just very fun stuff right there. And again, attach all the scenery you want to them because you can. It's awesome. The little bit in the middle rotates as well, which is very fun once you attach scenery to that. My mind is... I'm looking at this and I have no idea how it works. This is synchronized, which is... It's honestly really cool. Someone please let me know if this is a thing in real life, just because, I don't know, it's just so cool. But yep, you can spin clockwise, you can spin anti-clockwise, all that stuff. I just messed them up, which is a little bit of a shame. And last but not least, for these spinning rides, we have Wild Blue. It lifts up, and then all those seats in there, they kind of turn around. And yeah, it rotates. Oh, that is so cool. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm getting a little nauseous looking at this, but this is an incredible little ride. Oh my gosh, I can really see some like barnstorming kind of like decal on that. I don't know, that's so cool. So yes, all of the flat rides for the swinging one, 360 power, Behemoth Swing. Nope, these are spinning. These are spinning. Chairplane, Collider, Forge, Frenzy Fill, Full Flight, Grand Carousel, Hyperspin, Monte Leon, Synchronized, Teacup, the Cube, and Wild Blue. If you want to stop at any of these just to see like the excitement, fear, nausea ratings, feel free to. All right, last but not least, we have all of the swinging rides. These are terrifying. They're just absolutely terrifying. So we have another magic carpet right over here. This is the Mecha Roller. It kind of just goes left and right. Very cool stuff. We have Iron Claw. This reminds me of like the Wild West one from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. We have Sundial right over here, which is kind of the same thing. It's just a lot more seats. It can have a lot higher capacity. Of course, we have to have a swinging ship. Imagine all the cool Greek theming that you could do with these. That is so cool. And yeah, most of these are just very big, so we'll go through them all. Insanity, again, you can attach stuff. You can change the ride sequences. It is so cool. So customizable. We have Behemoth Swing, 360 power. We have Hammer Swing, which is really cool. You have Sky Beam right there, which is like, I don't know. I love that. You have Polarity over here as well, which just spins you and spins you. How is that enjoyable? We have Parallelogram, which is very fun. It's just another swinging ship, but this time it's on 2 axes. And you also stay level during it, which I personally love. And you have Overpower right here, which is just a mess. But yeah, it's still really cool. I don't know. I love that stuff. So yes, looking at all of the swinging stuff, 360 power, Behemoth Swing 360, Hammer Swing, Insanity, Iron Claw, Mecha Roller, Overpower, Parallelogram, Polarity, Sky Beam, Sundial, Upswing. You got a lot of these boys in here. You get a lot of these and you get a lot of these, which is very interesting. And I believe that covers it. That covers all 5 of the main groups of flat rides, which is really cool. All right, now we'll check out the tracked rides. First of all, we have a few transport ones. First of all, we have the Steamboat right over here, very much river cruise, kind of like, you know, the Disney River Cruise over here. It's going to be a really helpful way of helping your guests get across like big swaths of water. I think you can actually sink this into the water, which is going to be super helpful. But it is tracked after all, and I just love the water effect that we have on these now. Just looks so cool. Now, I will say for all of these pretty much, you will need 2 stations, which is a little bit of a shame. But the other shame too, which I am not a big fan of, and I hope Frontier changes, is that you can't customize these vehicles. I mean, personally for me, I would love to see a boat ride that is just decorated with like all these trinkets, all these ornaments, maybe even like, come on, where's that piece? Like the mythology ship over here. Can you just imagine how much cooler it would be if we could plop this bad boy right on the top over there? Like, unfortunately we can't, which I don't get. Like, I don't know. And again, the bus over here, yeah, it's very pretty, and you can change out the colors, but unfortunately, that little sticker of Queen Splash is always going to be there, which is just a little bit of a shame to me. I don't know. However, you can make these bad boys go up to 29 miles per hour, which is definitely going to get you from A to B. I don't know. And yeah, the max speed on the boats is 20 miles per hour, which is on, like, you're going to be sailing right through there. I don't know, that's kind of crazy. The monorail too, unfortunately, we cannot decorate the outside of, but you can go up to 55 miles per hour. You can set up a bullet train if you really wanted to. Look at that bad boy. And yeah, the cable cars, once again, I love these so much, but we can't decorate them, which is a huge shame. But they can go up to about 10 miles per hour, which I remember the cable cars at like Walt Disney World being super fast for some reason, which, yeah, you can recreate that. All right, so that covers it for all of the transport tracked rides, which is very cool. We got all 5 different versions. So, oh, we also got like the Steam Railroad, which I'm not going to build like an entire track for it, but you can see it's right here. It's that very classic kind of like old vintage park kind of look to it. Again, you can change out the colors over here. You can attach scenery, but it does go up to 20 miles per hour, which is kind of cool. So yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of kind of transport ride, which is awesome. Like, they're not really, like, every single one of these is going to be super customizable if they allow us to attach scenery to it, but unfortunately that's just not the case right now, which is just a shame. Like, I don't know, I could really imagine like a Train to Hell or something like that, and then we could attach like devil horns to this stump or something. I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel like everything else you can add stuff to. Why not these? Also, my only other complaint, the multiple stations thing, like, I don't know. I feel like you should be able to have this be a route. Like, can you imagine a backlot studio tour where it's like you have to disembark at a different place? I don't know. I'm sure that's a thing, but just functionally speaking, I don't see this just as a transport ride. I see this as its own ride in some cases. The same goes for the monorail too. I mean, like, I don't know, even transport rides, when you think beyond, like, what the name is, you should be able to make them into their own individual rides. But hey, that's fine. Next, we're going to check out the water rides for the tracked ride section. We have the wide log flume, narrow log flume, as well as the river rapids. So yes, we only have 3 of these this time around, which is, it's all right. But, yeah, I'm super excited for a lot of these, especially the river rapids. I don't know, I feel like there's so many different things. You have rapid sections, you have wide sections, you have all these different things that you can do. Actually, yeah, you can start wide sections like that. You can have, like, nice big kind of rapid sections, very much like that too. It's just very interesting. I don't know. So there's a lot of customizability that comes with the river rapids ride, but there's also so much that comes with the log flumes. These are pretty much the same for both of them. So you can do, like, of course, your conveyor belts, which is very cool, but you can do turntables, which is awesome. I love doing turntables in RCT2. Like, that was always such a cool feature where it could be like, oh man, you're going down a log flume backwards. I don't know. You can change the chain speeds, the target speeds, acceleration rates. It's really awesome stuff, but I wish there were just a little bit more. You have like splashdowns and stuff like that, but I don't know, maybe there was more stuff in other kind of log flumes. There's also a vertical lift, which is very fun. I know there's like a few log flumes in real life that kind of have that stuff, which is cool. So that covers it for the water rides. Now we're going to check out the rest of the powered track rides. There's only 3 sections in here. We covered transport, we covered water. Now let's check out the powered track rides. These are very cool because this is where your dark rides are really going to come to life. First of all, we do have this monorail, which is a smaller version of the kind of bigger monorail. You can definitely use this as a transport ride, which is very fun. There's not too many unique things that you can do with this, which is, you know, it's all right. But they do have your classic kind of like, you know, track, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited for the implications of this one. Again, you can, oh no. Okay, you can't customize that one. You can't customize the log flumes. Okay, this is Frontier. I have some qualms. Yeah, I don't know. I could imagine adding like a few things to the log ride, which would really help it take flight. I don't know. And yeah, you probably can't do much with this one right here, but I don't know. I feel like you should at least be able to, even with scaling over here, to make like a custom wheel for this guy. I don't know. It's starting to shine, and this is probably going to go in my review of how awesome that feature is, where you can attach it to the coasters. You can attach it to the flat rides, but the tracked rides are where it really shines, and I feel like the fact that we can't add stuff to them is a little bit of a shame. All right, but this is pretty much your Haunted Mansion one over here. This is the powered rotating. Yeah, there's not really too much that you can do with it. You can just do standard track. It has a very limited incline, which is kind of understandable. But yeah. And yeah, I haven't really messed with where stuff can rotate, so I'm sure you can kind of add a new trigger right over there where you can choose the track to rotate, I guess, choose the train to rotate. Again, I've only had like a week to go over Planet Coaster 2, so I don't really know much of the finer details when it comes to it, but I'm sure you can do a lot. Here's the powered automated vehicle, which is very cool. Oh no, so here you go. You control how they face with like the pitch, the yaw, all that stuff, which is very cool. You can have it even face up a little bit. This is very much like your Ratatouille ride and stuff like that. So you can have it kind of go like that. So if you start the test over here, you can have it go forward. Then once it spins around, it kind of faces up, which is cool. So maybe you have like an element that's kind of facing upwards up there. We'll also go back to this one over here. You can see the pitch. You can change that out. You can have it face up. You can control the yaw. That kind of affects the x-axis, and if you start the test right there, since it's all in one train, you can actually see this come to life. I love that. You just have them all kind of face that way. That is so cool. All right, I'm gonna turn off testing on all of those because that's getting annoying. All right, we have the go-kart tracks, which is very fun. So yeah, you have all these different kind of sections. You can make it go narrow. You can go make it, yeah, you can just change all this stuff, which is very fun. You can turn on the optional railing, which is fun. And there's not really much other than that. It's just your classic go-kart ride. And I'll answer everyone's question right now. Can you ride the go-karts? Not can you ride it, but can you actually control them? Well, let's try that again. I'm sorry, this is the most important thing to me in this game. So yeah, if you know Planet Coaster 1, if you change the guest's name to Ballard, yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's a shame. Okay, everyone ping Frontier and ask them to re-add the drivable go-karts because that's sad. All right, we also have the Ghost Train over here. It has a chain lift, which is very helpful. You have lock and center spins, which is cool. You have standard track, you have normal track, all very useful stuff. So yeah, you can spin it right there. You can have normal tracks go. Yep, very cool Ghost Train. We also have the family train. This is adorable. I remember this from RCT Wild, which is like such a throwback. But yeah, it's just a kiddie train, which is just cutest damn thing in the world. I don't know. I love that. Again, no unique pieces except for a stop/start, which is very helpful if you're doing like a scened area, like you want the train to stop and look at a particular scene. That's very helpful. But yeah, that's cool. And last but not least, you have the classic antique powered cars, again with that stop/start, as well as a rail. Nothing really too crazy, but it's just a very awesome, very classic coaster game track ride, I guess. But yeah, if we check out all the tracked rides, we can see all of them right over here. Check out powered. We checked out the powered cars, family train, ghost train, the go-karts that you can actually drive, powered automatic vehicle, powered rotating ride, very fun ride right there. I don't know. It reminds me of the Nemo ride in Epcot, as well as the sit-down powered 4-seater, which is just like a monorail, which is very helpful. But yeah, that covers it for all of the tracked rides, which the most glaring issue with all of these is how we can't attach scenery to them. That to me is ridiculous because, I don't know. I can customize the car. I could make like a hot rod with this. I could customize like this little train right here to have like a really cool tail or something. I could customize like even this. Like look at the Remy ride at like, you know, Disney, how it has like, you know, all of like the rat stuff on it. Just imagine like the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, how you're in like a droid powered operating vehicle. Like that to me, that's necessary. Even this one over here, Seas with Nemo and Friends, where you have like the clamshell that you actually get in, or like the Little Mermaid ride. I don't know. Like all this to me just screams it needs to have those capabilities on there because like the game is all about customization, and I don't know, I guess we'll get that in a free update, but that to me is just a little ridiculous how we don't have it right now. But like everything in here is great. Don't take my word for, oh, I'm pissed off. Kind of am, but this is all really great stuff, especially these newer ones over here. The Ghost Train, we got the 4D ride over here. All incredible pieces. Now we'll check out the slides right over here. There's nothing really too like crazy going on with these, but again, it's a new feature, so let's check it out. We have this one over here is the body flume. You have a few different ways of entering these. You have ones with this little bar right here that you could grab, but you also have ones without the bar as well as a drop chute. Even though the drop chute does look good, go check out Silverette's video on it because typically you don't enter them from the back. You always enter them from the side, which is why you have that handle right there, which is just a little strange, but I understand because the guests do walk up to it kind of like that. Now you do have it like kind of like splashdown areas over here, but every single one of these slides does have unique features when it comes to it. I mean, let's just build this one up right here. Sure, that worked. But yeah, you have all these different ways of making your flumes. You have enclosed areas, you have high areas to the right, to the left. You have transparent half pipes, which are awesome. You have transparent full pipes, half speed, half pipe, high speed, half pipe. So that basically just makes it go faster. You have high speed enclosed areas, high speed curved areas, all so helpful. You have special ones over here too, so if you make a really tall one, you can do kind of like a pseudo loop. You can do a figure 8 right over here. It just makes it right for you. And you have a boatload of different ways to end it. So you have like these plug holes, which are completely enclosed. You have ones that are open. You have so many different ways to make your slides, and I barely even touched the surface of them to begin with. You have body slides, different kinds over here too. So you have the body flume and the body slides. You can't curve these, which is a little bit of an issue, which, you know, what can you do? But no, it's just very awesome. It just gives you a different looking slide, which I tend to appreciate. I don't know. I like the curved ones for specific purposes, and I like the flat ones for specific purposes. You also get a wide version of it too, which is very helpful in case if you're doing like a nice big kind of area. Now, my favorite ones over here are the inner tube slides. We have the double one right there, as well as the single. You can't really edit these pieces, which, I mean, I get that. You can't edit the mats. You can't edit these ones, which is completely understandable. But the other ones, that's just egregious to me. But yeah, these ones are super awesome because they have a lot of different features that can go into them. So if I kind of continue this slide right over here, you get your plug holes, you get your speed bowls, all very awesome stuff, but there are just some really cool special ones in here. You get these orbs, which are really cool. So you kind of flow up that orb and then you come out that side right there. You have oscillators, which kind of have you go left and right and left and right. Very awesome stuff. You get that boomerang, which is very cool. I don't know. And of course, the biggest thing that comes with these are the conveyor belts. So you can have like fully functional kind of like rafting rides. I find that so awesome. You have a mat flume over here too. So you kind of just lay on your belly and then you go down the flume. Again, it's very much like the body flumes over here, which is helpful. And you have this big chunky boy right over here. You got the raft flume, which has upwards of 6 people, I think. So you can have a big flood of people on this one, but it has even more really cool stuff. You have this like ultra wide pipe. I'm just gonna kind of build this up so we could actually see most of this stuff. So yeah, you have this ultra wide pipe, which kind of exits out right there. Love the look of that. That is so cool. So you have it going left and right. You have your speed bowls, you have your plug holes. You have a whole bunch of specials in here. You have that trap that we saw in like one of the first videos from Planet Coaster, which is so cool. You got the giant funnels, which are just, these pieces are massive. And it's kind of fun once you actually start to use them and you start to make like your focal points in your parks. But I don't know, that's just really, really cool. And yeah, you get your uphill pieces as well and a whole bunch of other ones. So you can get like your boomerang right there, oscillators, all that good stuff. But yeah, that covers it for all the slides. There's not much over there, but hey, they're slides. What can you do? And flumes, really. I think flume is the actual proper term. Unfortunately, guests can go under them, which is a little bit risky. I'm kind of like, oh, get the hell out of there. You're going to get hit on the head. But hey, what can you do? Really, really awesome slides, though. Very cool. And they're all completely color customizable, which is really awesome. I don't know. So you can change out the colors on all of these. I personally hate how we can't do anything besides stripes. I don't know. I wish we could do a little bit more than that. But it is really cool. But I think we're going to move on to the coasters. So yeah, there are a whole lot of these guys in here. And honestly, if you want all the details on every single roller coaster, I would highly recommend other creators who are probably doing that right now. I would really recommend Silverette for anything coaster knowledge because he's kind of like the pro of the Planet Coaster community, but there's a million other enthusiasts in the community as well for you guys to check out. Me, I really care about the aesthetics, and I absolutely love the aesthetics of the water rides over here. We have the antique water coaster over here, which is, it's a decent stand-in for, yeah, it's kind of like a decent stand-in for a typical log flume, which is very helpful. So you can enter channels, you can kind of like make your flumes kind of go down and stuff like that, which is very helpful. But yeah, I just tend to love this kind of stuff because unlike the log flume, you can actually edit and attach scenery to this guy. So yeah, even if it is a little bit oversized, I'm sure mods are going to help out with this soon. But you can make like a decent trireme, or maybe even like a Viking one. Let's try that. You can make a decent Viking like water ride, which is very cool. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents when it comes to that stuff. We also have some other stuff too. We have the splash coaster, which is, it's a mini themed, like it has very slight theming on there, which is fine. You can easily cover that up with other pieces, but that is just really cool. You have the splash down, which is kind of like the water coaster, except it's not suspended, but it is super, super cool. I don't know. I love how the seats are kind of like, you have 2 in the back, then 2 up front, but it's all one line. That stuff is just really, really cool for me. And yeah, you got all of your classic coaster pieces in here too. You got non-inverted pieces, you got banks, you got all that jazz. And of course you have splashdown pieces, which you can't really see right here, but they're there, trust me. This is the water coaster. I believe this is one of the exclusive ones. Actually, no, that's this one right there. But this one is also just another typical water coaster. You got your helixes, and you can also get your splashdowns and all your water ones too. Very cool stuff. And yeah, this is the exclusive water coaster, which I personally love because it's just a box. It's just a box. So you can decorate it to your heart's content. And yeah, you got your standard tracks, you got friction wheels. This is honestly one of the more, oh, you got coaster lifts, and I'm sinking right into the ground right now. But yeah, you got your splashdowns and all that stuff. It's very, very helpful. So yeah, all these you can edit the actual cars for, which is very helpful. And yeah, that's all the water rides. Moving on from there, we have the miscellaneous rides. These are a lot more of the fun ones. I don't know. We have the rotating coaster over here, which is very helpful. Once again, for making these like modern day coasters. I know everyone and their mother at every single theme park is doing some really, really awesome coasters. So you can kind of control the yaw over here, which is, you know, the X axis. You can also control the banking offset, which is very interesting. So you can kind of have it like go switch up a little bit. I don't know. That's kind of fun. Again, you got all your classic coaster pieces over here. Bank turns, helixes, all that jazz. The same thing goes for the spinning coaster over here. Very much like, I think this one might be the Guardians coaster. I think it's definitely the Turtle, the Crushes coaster from Disneyland Paris. But yeah, just your classic coaster pieces. The same goes for this one over here, the spinning coaster. These are in a train though, which is, it's either helpful or not helpful. It's however you want to design your coaster, but same pieces as before. You got your spinning manic mouse? Sure. So yeah, you can unlock the car spin, you can lock the car spin, so if it goes to like the left, it'll continue to spin to the left, and then once it hits the lock and center spin, it'll essentially lock it. One of my favorite ones though is right over here. This is the swaying mine train. Easily one of the more smooth coasters you can actually go on. It's really, really awesome. I love these guys. And again, your classic coaster pieces, helixes, inverts, yada yada. And the X Dimension coaster, no idea how this guy works, but listen, you can change the seat rotation and all that stuff on it, which is kind of cool. It looks to be more of a vertical switch, which is kind of fun. You also get a ton of rolls in here. You got your Raven turns, which is very, very cool piece right there. And yeah, no helixes. That's kind of weird. But yes, those are all the miscellaneous coasters right there. Let me actually show all of these off right over here. Well, they're the special coasters. I guess they're special. You can read all about their specifications right over here in case if you want to pause the video at any time. But yeah, we have a lot of really awesome rides this time around. And we'll check out the water coasters too. We got 5 of them, which are all very awesome. So from here, we're moving on to the wing coasters. These are really awesome because they are on a central track, but the cars kind of go across it. I don't know. That is just some very cool stuff to me. But yeah, first of all, we have the Drop 2. This one is very cool. This one is actually in one of the scenarios that you actually get the chance to play. And you can do these little drop tracks that kind of go like that. I don't know. They hold you right up there and then they set you down for a deep dive. It's so cool. And yeah, these come with a ton of pre-made loops, including like pretzel loops, which are very awesome. You got a ton of rolls over here, butterfly inversions, bat wings. Look at all of these. I'm just going to show off a few of them because there's so many. But you get rolls, you get inline twists, which are, I believe, heart lines. I don't know. You got corkscrews, which is very cool. You get vertical twists. This is going to be a very cool coaster to see what all the huge thuzies are going to do with it. You got the typical wing right over here, which is, again, a very, very cool coaster. And again, all of these you can attach scenery to, which is very, very helpful. So yeah, make these go all the way up. Then you can kind of set these up for all the other kind of track pieces. So yeah, you get rolls. You get all these. I mean, just look at all of these fantastic like pre-made things over here. I know people are probably going to do these by hand, but for a more casual player like myself, it is so helpful. Some very, very awesome loops, including a finish loop, which is so cool. So yeah, that's the wing right over there. And we also have the wing chain lift, which is, it's one that has a chain lift. It's the same stuff as before. I really do love these kinds of seats though. And I do love the peregrine falcon that's on there. I don't know, that is so cool. It's kind of crazy how Planet Coaster 2 got birds before Planet Zoo. But yeah, besides the bird over there, which I'm sure you can easily cover up, like you can really customize the heck out of these. It's going to be so awesome. So yep, that does it for the 3 wings right there. All right, your classic coasters over here, the wooden coasters. These are my absolute favorite over here. There's just something about this nice classic look that they have to them that is just so fun. But yep, they come with your classic stuff, chain lifts, drive tires, friction brakes, trim brakes, and block brakes, which is going to be really helpful for setting up any kind of coaster that you want. Yep, this version right over here, we'll go through all the versions in a little bit. But I'm just on the eye kind of like looking out for any unique pieces that might appear in some of these, but it looks like they're all relatively the same, which is very helpful. They're just all different kinds of trains, all different kinds of tracks, which is very helpful. I don't know if anyone wants to see these tracks up close, but here you go. You can see all of them. They look very pretty. But yeah, you got your helixes, you got all these unique pieces. Yeah. Side friction coasters. I know these are typically popular in a lot more older parks. They're one of the first kinds of coaster models ever made, but they're just very, very simple. I just love the look of them though. I don't know. They're some of my favorites out there because they're just so classic. Even though it is very impressive what like coaster parks are doing nowadays, it still is so cool to just look at what the past used to have. You have your wooden wild mice too. You can have the chain lift go up all the way. And then you have all of your classic kind of wooden wild mouse stuff. You got non-inverted stuff over here, which is, you know, I don't think anyone has ever made a inverted wild mouse ride, but that would be something. You have the wooden hybrid steel rail, which is kind of cool. So yeah, you got two different hybrids over here, the steel rail right over here, which does have a lot more unique kind of pieces. So these are like kind of the appeal of wooden rides, but a lot more of the functionality of the modern day steel rides, which is very awesome. Bunch of non-inverted pieces over here too. And yeah, just your typical block sections, friction brakes, yada yada. And last but not least, the steel top hybrid coaster, which is very cool. Except this is so over-themed. Oh my gosh, Frontier. What did you do? But yep, you got your loops. You got your dive loops, half loops, all that stuff. And yeah, the look that the kind of structures give you is kind of interesting. I don't know. But yeah, you got your bigger pieces like that too. So yep, let's take a look at everything. You got the Kingdom Isle wooden, you got the Grand Coasters Worldwide wooden, a little bit more of a modern car design. This one's a little bit more traditional. You got your City Peninsula one, which is a lot more of like your Coney Island kind of style, like the Cyclone. You got wooden side friction right over there. You got your wooden wild mouse. You got your wooden hybrid with steel rails, and you also have your wooden hybrid with the steel top. And that really does it for the Woodies over there. I don't know, always my favorite coaster group. They're so awesome. All right, the suspense is over. We're checking out the suspended coasters. We have giant inverted right over here. Again, just a very iconic look to these. You got cable pull pieces, and you just get a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Oh my gosh. So yeah, you can go all the way up kind of like that. That is awesome. So you'll be facing like upwards, and then you can have the top right there. Oh, so that's pretty much just an inverse. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, not really enthused, not really sure how most of this stuff works, but I'm here to show it off. I'm here to show it off. It's up to you guys to build the cooler stuff. So yeah, you got your cool loops, you got clothoid loops, all that stuff. You get rolls, you get your non-inverts, which is awesome. And yeah, and yes, you can customize these with scenery. And yeah, it's just the same thing for all of these. It's the inverted two-seater right over here. So it's like this version over there, but just with two people. You got the inverted four-seater over here, which is very awesome. And again, you get your inverted flying coaster, which you load in, I think once it's, yeah, you load in kind of like that. And then once you're actually in, you face down, and it's just have fun with that. And last but not least, you also have momentum over here. I think this is kind of like, I don't know what you call this. I don't know. I'm just here to show it. You can have a twist tower. You can have a twist tower. I don't know. You have your dual direction linear induction motor with brake function. Thank God, I was waiting for that one. But you got your rolls, non-inverted, all that jazz. So yeah, suspended, you got your Vector giant inverted return, you got your Giovanni inverted two-seater, you got your inverted four-seater, inverted flying, as well as the momentum. Alternate lift. Okay, I have no idea what this means, but sure. We appreciate a good alternate lift. These guys use friction wheels, which is very cool. This is the junior coaster. And yeah, they have your typical junior coaster stuff. You got your helixes, all that jazz. And unfortunately, it is a little bit too themed of a kind of car for me, which is a bit of a shame, but you can always cover that up. I just wish we had one that was a little bit less dragon focused. Over here, you have your launched hyper drop. So I believe that you can set these up to kind of go like that. That is cool. So I think that's actually, yep, you lift up on this side right over here, then it holds you over here with the block break, and then it drops you down kind of like that. Very cool to actually see all this infrastructure in place too. I never appreciated this kind of stuff before, but it's so cool to see the escape routes. I don't know. Limitless over here. I think this might be one of the other ones too that kind of goes like that. Very awesome stuff, but they also have a whole bunch of loops. They have your half loops. You have like all these different kinds of finish loops. You have all your rolls, all your heartline twists, your banana rolls, your batwing rolls, all that stuff. All I just need is an egg roll. Looping Sun over here, another looping coaster. I believe that this one kind of not inverts, but I think you can chain lift it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the coaster guy. You guys are the coaster guys. Multiverse coaster over here as well. You can kind of switch these up so you can have turntables, which is very awesome. So let's just say you're kind of like, hold on. Yeah, let's just say you kind of go like that. You can have a turntable that kind of goes another way. So yeah, it attaches to that track right there. The entire train stops on that one right there. Very cool stuff. I don't know. You have seesaws. This is weird. You got reverse direction. You get switch tracks. This is a switch track one. All right. Can we see this in action, please? Like, okay, I wasn't making coasters for most of these, but this is so interesting to me. So yeah, it's kind of like Expedition Everest where it switches you backwards. I don't know. And Hagrid's, I guess. I gotta study my coasters after this because this is just embarrassing. You have Return over here, which is very cool. So it does have that backwards lift over there. I wish we could kind of change the incline of these because I know so many people from my shorts clip complained about that. And it's like, it's not my fault, bro. It's the coaster's fault. But yeah, you got a lot of awesome pieces in here too. You got all of your kind of inverts. You got your heartline twists, all that stuff. A bunch of loops, all that jazz. The sit-down four-seater over here, you can do some really, really awesome stuff with that. You got a nice cable lift over here so you can get to the top of that incline. And then you have a whole bunch of non-inverted, inverted pieces. And yeah, that's really it. It's a simpler one, but it's very cool. Yeah, I gotta use that multiverse coaster in my park. That is so cool. We also have the Star Loop over here. It has a complete vertical lift right over there, and then it kind of loops back on itself. So I guess it's kind of like Electric Eel at SeaWorld. I could be mistaken. It might be a completely different style, but that's cool. That's very cool. All right, so that settles it for the alternate lift ones. Very, very diverse group of guys in here. I don't know, it's just very cool. That multiverse coaster is going to be one of my favorites right there. All of these do have completely customizable trains as well, so you can have these really be your own coasters. Next, we're moving on to our launched coasters. These are a lot more of these modern ones over here. So yeah, it's going to be a lot more of the same stuff, but all of these kind of have their own little stuff. They have the hydraulic launches, they got the non-inverts and all that jazz right in here. So yeah, this one can't invert, but you guys can see that in the little kind of like whatever you call it, the little overview screen. We got this hydraulic launch over here, which has this kind of Ferrari theme going on. We have the launched LSM, which is a little bit of a Guy Fieri thing going on over here. I don't know, but that is just a very interesting looking coaster. Very fun. We have the launched LSM, which is different from the other one, I guess. We'll check that one in a bit. But yeah, you can see standard tracks, but you can also have chain lifts over here. I believe you have this synchronous motor. You have a holding station. It blasts you off eventually. And you have your rolls, your non-inverted, yada yada. Launched pneumatic over here with a very simple kind of train. It does have this little wind guard over there, which is kind of fun. But you do have a pneumatic launch. Yeah. And again, it can invert, it has loops, it has rolls, it has non-inverted, it has everything. Multiverse coaster again? Oh my gosh, we are so lucky over here. We have the turntables, we have the switch tracks, some of my favorite stuff, right? Beyond that, we have the wave coaster. This one, again, one of the newer models that we have over here. It's supposed to be, I think it might be Manta from SeaWorld. Such an incredible coaster design, and I don't know, it is just so fun. I tried messing with what scenery to add to these guys before, but I really couldn't come up with anything. But it really is such an awesome coaster design. I can't wait to see what everyone makes with that. We have the sit down over shoulders, so the restraints kind of come over your shoulder right over there, as you can probably guess. This one does invert, which is very cool. You have all your loops and stuff. And yeah, you have a drive tire launch, which is very fun. And last but not least, for the launch coasters, we have the sit down 4-seater. And yep, it's over the shoulders, so it can loop, it can roll, it does everything. So yeah, checking out all these launch coasters, we have the energy coaster, hydraulic, launched LSM over here. You can see all the stuff over there. We have this other one too. We have the launched pneumatic. You have the multiverse coaster. You have the sit down 4-seater. You have the sit down over the shoulder. And you have the wave coaster. Just a jolly old group of coasters over there. I love that. Last but not least, we have the final one. We have the chain lift coasters. Just very simple coasters over here, but I'm sure you can do some very complicated stuff with them. All these pretty much come up with a chain lift like so. Lots of them invert, lots of them loop, but we'll check those all out individually. But yeah, you can see that this one is the crazy mouse. It can invert, which is very cool. And again, a very basic kind of looking, I don't know, structure to them. It's awesome. This is the floorless coaster over here, probably one of my favorite ones. These panels, I believe, kind of come up. So once you actually load in, your feet are just dangling, which is always so fun to see. And yep, you can invert, you can do all that good stuff. You have your looping coaster over here. Looping coasters are known for looping, so of course they can invert. And again, another one right over here. The best part about all these is that you can attach the scenery. So cool. Mine trains, of course, probably one of my favorite ones out there too. I don't know. I'm a big sucker for these classic rides. But yeah, unfortunately, they cannot invert, which is a shame. But I mean, I don't think any mine trains have ever inverted. But yeah, just a cool piece. You have the single rail one over here. These make me uncomfortable because, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't be that chunky. Like, look at that. I don't know. It looks like a monorail. But yeah, I've probably known at this point, given the restraints, this guy can loop and roll and do all the fun stuff. We have the sit-down 6-seater 1. All right, cool. Just another very cool coaster. It can't invert, but it can do all the cool stuff like figure 8 helixes and stuff. We have the sit-down 6-seater. There we go. Again, very much like the previous one. Again, can't invert. We have the sit-down lap bar, which is very cool. I love the design of this coaster. I don't know. Non-inverting coaster, of course. We have the stand-up coaster, which is very cool. So you're always just standing up. I don't know. I love that stuff. This one can invert though. And we also have the tipper coaster. Why do they call it the tipper coaster? Because it tips, apparently. I don't know. I love that stuff. That's so cool. And yep, it can loop, it can invert, and all that lovely good stuff. So yes, the final overview for all of the chain lift ones: Crazy Mouse, Floorless, Looping, Mine Train, Single Rail, Sit-down 6-seater, Sit-down 6-seater again. We have the sit-down lap bar, the stand-up, and the tipper coaster. All really, really awesome coaster types. I don't know. But yes, the best part about these is that you can completely customize these all to your heart's content. You can add as many scenery pieces to these as you can possibly fit on there, and you can do some really, really ridiculous kind of wacky stuff. I don't know. I personally love that kind of stuff, especially once they like give us the opportunity to kind of, you know, fully customize our ride. Again, if you're hoping for a much more coaster enthusi focused overview, I'm sorry I can't give that to you. I am an aesthetics guy, so I'm just looking at these stuff, how the trains look, how they are able to be customized and all that good stuff. But definitely do check out some other creators. There's going to be a whole bunch of different overviews for all of these coasters by some fantastic people, so definitely do check that stuff out. But yeah, aesthetics wise, these are all pretty good. And yeah, that pretty much covers it for the entire kind of ride section of this overview. Again, my biggest complaint, and everything over here is great. Everything over here is great. Everything over here is great. Like I mentioned the Ferris wheel and how I wish there was a little bit more. Oh, there are static ones. Okay, so yeah, my only main complaints are, why can't we customize the heights of these ones? And why can't we add scenery to the tracked rides? That's really all my main complaints when it comes to this. And also, can we just have these be one sections only? I don't know. That's a little silly to me. But that covers it for this entire overview. Oh my gosh, there's so many rides. There's so many coasters, but I guess that's kind of why they call it Planet Coaster after all. But yeah, we'll move on to a different section, or we'll end the video. I'm not really sure the order of operations here, but we'll see you in the next one. And of course it starts raining right when I start recording. And I don't think there's any way to stop the rain from happening. So you know what? Everything's just going to look wet. Welcome! Welcome to the building overview section of the video. We have a ton of stuff to go over. So yeah, welcome everyone. We're going to check out a lot more of the blueprints first, I think. That's probably going to be best. And then we'll check out the individual building pieces after, seeing how exactly these are all made together. So excited to get into it, but we're going to start off with the Planet Coaster theme first because it is just very pretty. It is just very basic, but basic in the best way possible. So we do get some nature scenes right over here, which are very, very impressive. Really helps to go a long way in case if you're making, like, I don't know, how do you describe it? I don't know, some nature scenes, I guess. I don't know. They have some stuff hidden in there though, which is very fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go through and see the feasibility of all these being scaled, which is very, very helpful in case if you're making like some smaller areas in your zoos and such. I keep on saying zoos, I mean theme parks. But yeah, you get three different, you got a bunch of different nature scenes when it comes to the Planet Coaster blueprints. You get these really nice rock formations, which is very beautiful. And you also get these lovely kind of waterfall sections, which is very, very awesome for helping to fill out like any dead areas in your parks or stuff like that. Throw in a waterfall, it always looks better. And yeah, here are the main facility blueprints for the Planet Coaster theme. Very, very iconic stuff over here. The Planet Coaster, like, iconography is so, so iconic. I don't know. Really do love seeing King Coaster and Queen Splash too now. Oh my gosh. Love seeing them make their appearances over here because it just looks so, so cool. But yeah, these are just very basic buildings that you can use for your backstage facilities. You can use these for up front too. I really do love like all these stuff over here. You even have some like speakers in here, which is very fun. But yeah, you just have a ton of set dressing in here, which is extremely helpful, especially these hedge pieces. If you're making like a nice big area, just use these guys. Just place them all next to each other. It is so helpful. But yeah, you got a few pre-built ones in here too. You got some nice guest facilities. You have like very nice ones for like restrooms if you want to throw them in there. One of my favorite things about like Planet Coaster building now is that if you select like the Gelato Bros, you can select it right there and it automatically snaps right there too, which is very fun. My only issue is you have to actually turn them on in order for them to actually open, but they only do that if they're connected to a path, which is fine. But yeah, just a really, really incredible theme set over here. So much for you guys to play with too. I don't know. So like, say for example, this is a little bit too big for you. You can always shrink it down a little bit. But yeah, that's really the bulk of it. There's also just a few things in the facilities tab. If you switch over to blueprints, there's specific ones for like Looney Balloons. You get specific ones for all of like your typical shops and stuff, which is fine. But like, I don't know. Is seeing this one specifically really going to help you change your opinion on the game? I don't think so. Let's move on. We have the Mythology Set, which is probably the coolest set in the game. I don't know, just seeing Greek architecture always makes me so happy. And especially seeing some of this stuff as well, we get some really, really awesome blueprints. We can see the Minotaur right over here. It's on a track, which is very cool. We'll see all these individual specific pieces and how they work together soon. But he's supposed to come out and charge. I don't know if he's going to do that or not. Yep, there he did. Okay, cool. So he does. But these are coaster stations. These are really, really awesome. So let me, for example... Okay, we'll just grab this one. And it's not going to be a complete one-to-one fit, but I just want to show off what I mean in practice. So these are coaster stations. So if you take one of these blueprints and then you align them with these, you can actually set them up so that they match up perfectly. Of course, just change the grid height and all that stuff, but you can match them up perfectly with how the coasters are actually loaded onto. Of course, there's a little bit of editing you'll need to do if you end up taking this route, but it's super, super helpful. But yeah, some really, really awesome pieces in here. Again, everything is super, super customizable. So if you don't like the scale of something, you can just scale it down. But yeah, some really awesome shop facades in here too. Again, your shops actually line up perfectly with them. You got some really awesome kind of decorations in here, which is cool, especially like the Medusa ones. You got a Pegasus. You get your park entrances over here. I remember using all these in like the beta kind of like little thing that they had us do. I don't know. Got this giant ship over here too, the trireme, which is so iconic. I don't know. You can scale it up, you can scale it down, you can do everything with it. Really awesome blueprint set over here. And hey, maybe I'll do a video about making an entire park with only blueprints. I did that in Zoo. I can probably do that in Coaster as well. So over here we have the iconic aquatic theme, which is very yellow submarine, kind of like, you know, very bright, kind of underwater kind of theming. I don't know. I really love it. So yeah, you got 6 different submarines in here. All of them are animated, which is very fun. But you also get all of these iconic shops over here, and they're all flexi-color too, which I believe we should... I think if we select like a couple of them at once, we might be able to. Okay, no, it only goes to like some pieces in there, but it is all flexi color, which is super helpful. I also love these ones over here too. They're a lot more of like the landlubber kind of aquatic aesthetic, which is very fun. And yeah, just a whole bunch of more shop shells. These pieces are going to be so helpful for kind of just like filling out, I don't know, if you have like a dark ride area, you can definitely put these in the background just to help it really stand out. Again, another coaster station. I love this one right over here, especially the little fishies up there. They're all individual pieces too, which is so good. And yeah, just a ton. This one has a ton of set dressing. But you have these little pipes over here. You got like some miscellaneous stuff. I love these ones over here. It's just like very beautiful kind of blueprint sets. I don't know. And yeah, you can kind of set the paths to actually work with those glass tunnels. I don't know. It's very fun. This is another coaster station too. It's all entirely enclosed. So like, yeah. And yeah, the set dressings just keep going on. This one's so iconic. You got these jetty platforms, which is super helpful if you're making like a beachside park. Oh my gosh. If you make like a beachside park, you can definitely start to link all these up together in just a really nice modular way. You get these really awesome splash pad items too. So it feels like these guys are all leaking their water. It's so fun. But yeah, just all these really iconic like aquatic scenes too. I don't know. It's just really awesome. And again, best part of all, they all scale pretty well, which is very fun. So yeah, that's about max scale right there. Once you actually start to see some pieces not move and they start to come apart, that's how you know like you shouldn't really scale it up even more, unless if you want that like nice big cluster right there. I don't know. But yeah, this is just a really awesome blueprint set, and the pieces are so iconic. The foliage, as you already see, is very iconic, but there's a lot more hidden to it. Now the resort theme is huge. I did not know that we would get this much stuff with it, but we get a ton of awesome set dressing. Especially if you're hoping to make like a nice background. These kind of like set pieces of fake hotels are so helpful. You can really do some fun stuff with that. But all the tiny little details in here, you can see some of the custom animatronics really shining right there too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, you can get some really awesome signage, all this really awesome like storefronts over here. This is a really awesome use of, I don't think that Planco players actually had these before, but the counters, if you just align these to the buildings over here, I don't know why it's not clicking down, but whatever, you can align those over there. It's very fun. But yeah, you can have all these lovely little things. It's just a very good blueprint set. A lot of these are very familiar to me at least, so I apologize if I'm going over these too quickly. A lot of these do seem to be from Planet Zoo anyways. Lots of flexi color thatch, which is very helpful. You also get this one over here. I love how this looks like mini golf. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a little teaser at some mini golf stuff in the future. I feel like that would be so fun, but I think it's just an island. Yep, bunch of welcome signs. We get a bunch of storefronts. I think that's a coaster station. And yeah, all these stores over here, so you can just plop your stuff right in there. Very iconic stuff. And we also get some nice nature scenes, which are very pretty. And yeah, you might notice that fake water over here. It's a piece now. We'll talk about that. And last but not least, we have one more theme. We have the iconic Viking theme. Oh my gosh, this is a gorgeous set over here. It reminds me just of Skyrim. Oh my god. But yeah, you get some really beautiful kind of blueprints in here. You got some really cool iconic Stav Church kind of looking things. You got some really iconic like blacksmith forge. I love this piece right there. I wish they could kind of break this piece up a little bit more, because I mean, I don't know. It's really awesome. But there's a whole mix of like tiny pieces and big pieces and all that stuff. It feels like they really mixed everything together so well, both for builders as well as like, I don't know. I'm not going to say non-builders because you're still building, but like, I don't know, more greater scale builders. I don't know. But yeah, you can see all of these have some very iconic and including some very cool moving pieces in here too. It's just very, very fun. But all of these could not be possible without everything that is over here. And we have a lot of stuff to go over. But before we do, I want to show off very quickly the paths. The paths, guys. The path. There's so many different things in here. If you want to turn on rails, you can have 5 different kinds of rails. Each one is FlexiColor, which is very cool. You get painted metal, you get painted coaster, you get wooden beam, and you also get metal park beam. Every single one of these is FlexiColor, which is incredible. This helps so much. But not only that, no. You get a ton of pieces that are FlexiColor too. So if we actually turn these off, you can see that all these paths over here, the stone shell path, which is this one right over there, it has like kind of a shell look to it. The red swirly path, of course, you can change out to be a different color. You have the rustic path right over there, unfortunately not FlexiColor. You have the sandstone path, not Flexi. You have the asphalt path, which is actually FlexiColor, so you can do kind of like really cool splash pads with that. You have the gravel path right there, very beautiful natural look to it. You have the blue path, which again, if you don't like blue, you can change it out for like a green path, who knows? Yeah. You have a nice herringbone brick path right there. You have a mosaic wood path, which I think looks super, super awesome. You have the jazzy mosaic path, which again, you can kind of change these out for whatever you want. The last path that you made selected will actually be over here. So I don't know. It's just very cool. I wish we could have a button that reverts it back to the base texture because I'm struggling with this because I don't know. It selects whatever you had selected last. So you can see I had that green right there because I placed down that green path or whatever. And it just stays, which is a little annoying. I don't know. Blue swirly path. Again, it doesn't need to be blue. You can change out the color for anything else. Square flagstone path. Very beautiful, very modern kind of look to it. The vinyl path, once again, very good for interiors and stuff like that. Super bright, super basic, but very helpful. The cobblestone path, again, really helps to sell like a nice, I don't know, kind of like a classic. You got your vertical and you got your horizontal wooden paths, yada yada. You got some natural paths, which are very cool. They're kind of told by these curb markers. I don't know, is there a way to get the curbs to turn off? I don't think so yet, but honestly, we might be able to ask Frontier if they can remove the curbs because that is a little annoying. And last but not least, you also have this sandy path, which it just defaults to whatever sand texture is on the map, and then it automatically places it. It's very good. But not only that, we also have a bunch of different other kinds of paths too. We got vinyl Q, we got blue Q, which is FlexiColor, of course. We have the rustic Q, which is very fun. We got the brick Q, which not FlexiColor, shame. We got vertical wooden, we got horizontal wooden, so you can alternate those, I guess. And you also got the arrow Q, which is very interesting because, I don't know. Personally, I'm not too big of a fan of this. Because yeah, the Qs are only 2 meters long, which is like all right. But like, I don't know. You see those little arrows, you're kind of like, oh man, I gotta follow those. But like, you can't. I don't know. It's just very weird. It's a weird texture. And of course, staffs also have their own path as well. It's just a single path right there. And I'm so glad that they actually removed the Planet Coaster or like the Planet Zoo theme from this path because it's such like, I don't know, it gets in the way. But they are FlexiColor too, which is very helpful. There you go. So not only that, but there's also a bunch of stuff that does come with the kind of path section, I guess. You can have it automatically have extras on it. So if you want to enable these, all you gotta do is just select whatever bin you want. You have to select whatever bench you want. So say I'm doing like an aquatic theme over here. I'm gonna select both of those. And there's a lot of fun that you can have with that. You can add the path extras. You can have the spacing be out even further. So you can have it be less often. But that's for another day. I'm just going over everything that they give us. So we get 2 aquatic benches. Again, everything in here is FlexiColor, which is fantastic. I always am so happy to see that. But yeah, you get the mythological ones too, where you get a fallen pillar, and you also get kind of this decorative one right there. You get a bunch of Planet Coaster ones. Actually, you only get 2. But I love this one over here because it's so basic that you can cover it up with anything. So yeah, even though we haven't gone through the scenery yet, I'll give you like a little quick look, I guess. Okay, for the purposes of this video and for the purposes of my sanity, sure, if you want an air conditioner bench, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You can add that. You got 2 resort benches over here. Again, both are flexi-color, both entirely flexi-color, which is very fun. You got this metal one over there, and you get this wooden one. You got the Viking benches too. You got a very nice stone texture with them, and you also got this one that looks kind of like a Viking boat. Very awesome. And yeah, the best part about these is they don't have any anti-homeless architecture on them, which is very, very cool. Moving on from there, we also got some picnic benches as well. These are where your guests can sit down and eat. And yeah, they actually come in the base game of this Planet Coaster version, which is very fun. Again, all flexi color too, which is very helpful. So yeah, I love the aquatic ones because they're not too themed. Like, they're like perfectly towing the line between, oh, if I mention that this is the aquatic theme, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But also, if I told you, yeah, it's just a normal bench, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. You got this one over here, which is the mythology one, which is just not even mythology. This is just a basic bench. I love that. If you're doing like a zoo in a forest or something like that, I have a good idea for a video. I'm gonna save that for later. But yeah, you get another mythology bench right over there, very much in line with that other piece right over there. You got this picnic bench, and you also get this one over here. Again, very basic pieces, but it is so iconic. Every color you see in there is flexi color. You got the resort ones too. You got this one in the shape of a surfboard, and you got this one, which is a metal one. And yeah, your Viking ones too. This one, it has like a shield on it. Very fun stuff. And you also get this one, which is, it's a lot more heavy, which I think is fun. And that covers it for all the benches, but you also get a whole bunch of other stuff when it comes to that little path extra stuff in here too. We get all these very iconic market canopies, which are very cool, and you also get a basic one right there. These are so helpful, especially for making sunshades. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do more stuff with that. But beyond that, you also get some other ways to help guests stay out of the sun, especially because sunburns are a thing in the game now. You get this canopy right over here, which I feel like would multiply the sun. I don't know, that's kind of weird. But this is going to be such a very awesome way to make like, I don't know, maybe you're making like tunnels or stuff. Oh, Leaf is cooking right now. So yeah, again, think beyond what the pieces actually give you. If you want to be like, yeah, I want to make a tunnel for a coaster ride or like a slide, or like, I guess slides already have these tunnels. But if you want to make like a tunnel for a coaster that goes kind of through this stuff, that is a possibility. You got your parasols, which is very fun. You can even shrink these down and do like little umbrellas too if you want. You got this market canopy, which is part of the Greek theme. Very fun stuff. You got this picnic parasol. You got this one over here. I love the look of this one. It's pretty modern, but I think it has this really cool effect. You got the Viking ones. You got these ones, the resort ones. I love a thatch one and two. That is going to be so cool, especially if you like put it in a pool. Like, I don't know, you can do a really cool swim up bar and stuff. And you got the last one over here. It's all right, you know. Okay, moving on from here, we're gonna check out. Actually, let's move these guys out of the way because that's going to get a little annoying. But yeah, you have all of your pool items over here. You have your diving boards, again, all flexi color. Very cool stuff. You have 3 different lifeguard chairs over here. Again, once you place one down, the lifeguards automatically get hired. Each one has their own range. So this guy is not that high, but this guy is a little bit taller so we can see more. And this guy is, I think they're about the same. Yeah, it's just this guy's standing, that guy's sitting. Whatever you want. It's all about aesthetics. You get the sun loungers. I really wish we got more of these. I wish we got like one of the plastic ones with like the ridge lines in between that kind of leave you all sweaty and shit. I don't know. I feel like those would be so fun. But you can see they are flexi color, which is very fun. But I love these guys right here, the pool ladders. I hope we get steps soon. I really hope we get steps soon. But these guys are flexi color as well. You get 3 different versions of these to all cooperate, I think, with the levels of the pool. Let me just double check on that. So I think that lowest one, no, you can't use it with the wading pool. That's a little bit of a shame, but hey, what can you do? But yeah, you can see the pool. So actually, no, we should check out this stuff too. Yeah, we're underwater, baby. This is so cool. You get a bunch of wave machines. So you get this one right over here, 1 meter. You get 2, well, you get 1 meter, you get 4 meter, you get 8 meter, and you also get a 16 meter. So in case if you make like a big wave pool, that's going to be super helpful right there. Unfortunately, they are not triggerable, which is still a little bit of a shame, but hey, maybe I can put up a stink about that so Frontier changes it. You also get your lazy river jets. That's going to be, again, its own video if you want to watch like a lazy river overview. I'm sure one of the other fantastic creators has something on that, but it's also just a piece I wanted to show off. It's not FlexiColor though, so you can't really hide it. But speaking of hiding it, we can talk about the pools a little bit. There are 4 different colors of pools that you can choose. Unfortunately, they are not FlexiColor, which is like, come on, Frontier. You get 4 different colors over here though. You got this very iconic blue tiled pool. You get this a little bit of a greener one, which is going to be helpful for like, I don't know, maybe more natural looking pools. You get this kind of larger tiled one, which is very cool. And you got this even larger tiled one over here, which is much more of a sky blue. So if we come back over here too, you can see that there are also pool lines. Well, you can line the edges of the pool really. So you have this one over here, which is the white tile. You have the gray tile right over there. You have a wood plank, which is going to be super helpful. You have a terracotta tile, which is very, very pretty. It matches very well with. And you also get the sandstone, which matches extremely well with that sandstone texture. You got a whole bunch of customizability with that, but unfortunately, my qualm is that they are not FlexiColor. Again, I feel like I need the perfect colors for my pools, but that's just a little bit of a shame when it comes to that stuff. Okay, this is the public service announcement. These are items that you probably don't have in your game right away. These are the gold statues of Queen Splash and King Coaster. They will unlock once you sign up for the newsletter. I'm not sure how useful they will be in like your parks and stuff like that, but if you guys want to have every single piece in the game, sign up for that newsletter because I don't know. I'm a completionist, so I like to have everything. So these guys are very fun. All right, moving on from there, we have the projection screens. And this is, okay, let's talk about this. You have all these different kind of like billboards in here, so it's going to be very helpful. But if you're familiar with Planet Coaster 1 and Planet Zoo, these are not the billboards that we're used to. So yeah, this, like, you would be able to choose custom images from your media folder. Unfortunately, there isn't one yet. So this is probably going to be something in the future where they're like, oh, we finally implemented billboards, and it's like, yay, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you get 2 different ones over here too. You get the big one, which is fun. These are all not scalable. Not scalable, and not scalable. That's a little bit of a shame. So you do have the TV screen right there. You get a 4-meter one, and you also get a 16-meter one. It's fine. And yeah, we'll talk about these pieces in a bit too, but they also come with the mounting automatically connect to these. I believe they automatically connect better to the TV screen right there, which is fine. But like, I don't know. I feel like we should be able to go ahead and use billboards immediately. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for the main screens, I guess. Oh, end of day report. That's great. But yeah, I really wish we actually had the real billboards, but that will do. Also, my only complaint with these is that, yeah, you can change the image, but you can't set them to be rotational because I feel like that would be so much more fun. I don't know. All right, let's talk about these moving platforms. Okay, this is going to be a lot, so buckle down. We have all these different ways. So you can play once every so and so many seconds. So it will do a classic, like whatever the animation type you chose, and then it will do it in another 3 seconds, or you could set it up to be however else you want it. You can set it to be trigger only, or you could set it to be loop. There are a bunch of different things in here. So you can do explosive so that it kicks forward and then it just reels right. Very cool stuff right there. You have slow ones too. You have mediums and you have fast ones. You have a fast pause, so it goes up and then it stops. You have medium pause, you have a slow pause, so it just inches up right there. I am not smart enough to understand how most of this stuff works, but I know some people will be able to figure out some really awesome stuff, especially given the fact that, yeah, you can see pretty much all of these. They all are very, very fun. You get quarter chops, which is very fun. I don't know. And you also get the sheep. You know the Minecraft thing where like the sheep and the piston and the end rod? Yeah, you get that stuff. But yeah, this is very fun. You get very fast, you get slow. This is just this feels inappropriate. I can't keep looking at that. I'm sorry. But okay. The best part about these is that if you really want, you can go to edit these, and then once you see that little square right there, you can start to stack them, which is going to be very, very helpful, especially if you are an animatronic king. You can do some very fun stuff with that. So let's just say, for example, let's get, I need something that's like a little bit three-dimensional. Let me get King Coaster over here. Let's get the gold one so we can really sell that, email sign up thing. So yeah, you can connect him to the top one right there. And then once you hit play, he kind of just rotates and bops up and down. Like, I don't know. That is so fun to me. You can do some really awesome stuff with that. So I don't know. Maybe there are some smarter people out there who will be able to figure out more advanced stuff like that. I'm gonna try and get like working sharks in here. I feel like that would be so fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I thought there would be more. I thought there would be kind of like a loop one where it's kind of like it goes on a track around like that, but unfortunately there does not seem to be. I'm sure we can kind of muster up some kind of creative solution to that, but that's honestly there. Okay, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of all these pieces, so buckle down, everyone. We got water fountains over here. It's just very fun. So we got these nice stone pieces, all flexi-color. Everything you see here is flexi-color, and it's so good. We got marble water fountains, which are part of that mythological theme, which is very pretty. But if you want a little bit more basic ones, you have these ones right over here. But however, one of my favorite things over here is that if you don't want any of these and you want to make a custom one, you have placeable water right over here, which is very fun. So the best part about these, they do not Z-fight at all. Z-fighting is basically what happens. Let's just say, for example, if I take this and put it on top of each other, and you see that little epileptic shock right there, that is Z-fighting. However, you do not get this with this because they use a unique material. So yeah, you have a couple different pieces in here, just in order to be able to fill out those little planters or whatever you make with fake water. It's going to be so helpful, especially given the fact that the water brush in this game, it's just a little bit finicky. Like, yeah, it's decent, but maybe it doesn't give you exactly what you want. But yeah, it's just really cool to have. And yeah, you got these little pieces too. These are statue stands for the water fountains. Just really iconic looking pieces over here that you can probably figure out some really fun stuff to do with. And yeah, you got these other kind of water statues over here, I think. Okay, so you can't really make these as big as you want, but you can use these in water parks as a way to kind of make these little splash pads. I don't know. So it's just a really fun look. I'm honestly really glad I checked that out because I'm going to use that in my next park. All right, let's check out some of the other general stuff in here. We have these kind of basic general signs. These are mostly for staff rooms or guest utilities, not really anything too crazy. So these are probably for like changing rooms and stuff like that. These are for restrooms and bathrooms. These are for information, guest services. You have your staff room signs in there. Very nice pieces, but I don't know. If you're building like with the Planco style in mind, this is definitely helpful. But for an advanced builder like me, I don't know. Maybe they're not so helpful, but I don't know yet. You have your basic general art shapes in here. These are probably the best way for you to make entirely custom stuff. Yeah, these are all, you can scale all of these pretty much to your heart's content. They have a maximum and a minimum scale. Some of them can go down to 10%, but most of them can go up to maybe 300%. I'm not really sure, but yeah, they can scale pretty well. I think that's about the maximum, so about like 200. Apparently some items can go up to 300, which is very interesting. And yeah, just really quickly going back to these, I'm not sure if you can scale. You can't scale these specifically, but you can scale the stuff on top of them. You also have, on terms of like the rest of the signage, you have all of these kind of like, I don't know, the brand signage, which is very fun. So you have Splash Emporium for like the floaties. You have a lot of the new ones too, which are awesome. Like Latte Love, even though I miss Street Fox Coffee. Oh my gosh. But so delightful. You got Gelato Bros, Slush Hour. Very fun themes in here, especially the new ones like Haya Sushi. I don't know. It's fun. It's very fun. There's also a bunch of general signage too. These are going to be super helpful, especially for like, I don't know, once you start to add this stuff together, it's going to be so fun. I especially love these because if you look up like splash.png, these exact shapes do pop up, which is very fun to me. General kind of like overview of other signs too. This is kind of mishmash between like the Planet Coaster ones, some of the aquatic ones in here. Just general stuff in here, some of the Greek ones too, but it's just very helpful stuff. You have decals. Okay, these are my bread and butter. We have some other ones over there too, but these are going to be very, very helpful for anyone who is making, like, I don't know, some very hyper realistic stuff in here. Decals in Planet Zoo have always been just an iconic way to kind of bring a little bit more detail to your park. So let's just say I have like this little sand pit right there, and let's just say I want to use these decals to really help define the edge of the sand. All you gotta do is kind of color match it a little bit. Gotta play with like the saturation, the hues, and all that stuff. But once you actually get a pretty good match, I'm just doing this kind of roughly. I don't know. There's ways to make it look good. I haven't really experimented with it just yet. But you also get clipboards. You have a little vent right there. You have all these other vents too, which, like, in case if you want to go the extremely hyper realistic route for pools and stuff, you can take this vent and where are my pools? Oh, I guess it technically already has it, but if you want like a different one, you can kind of sneak that one right there. And it honestly looks like they fixed the LOD stuff with that too, so whatever you do, it's going to be visible from far away. That's so helpful. Yeah, everything in here is pretty much out of order. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to organize it beforehand, but there's so much fun stuff in here. I mean, just look at these brick decals. These are so helpful. These kind of brick other ones, I don't know. You can change out the main color of those bricks back there. I think, okay, you can only change out the plaster color on those, but you also have like these mossy ones. These are my favorite ones too. They look like sand if you color them the right way. And these are also some really awesome ways to add some more extra detail onto your parks as well. If you have like a nice decrepit building, you'd match that color up perfectly and it just looks so good. And yeah, we're just gonna go through all this stuff kind of randomly. Here is some of the Planet Coaster theming. A lot of basic general lamps and stuff. Again, everything should be scalable. So yeah, you can scale stuff down relatively well and you can scale stuff up relatively well. It's so good. But yeah, you can get very creative with it. You have a bunch of wall lamps right over there. Everything's flexi colored too, which is so fun. And yeah, all right, let's check out some of this stuff. These I'm gonna, like, this entire section is pretty much the Planet Zoo leftovers pack. We have a bunch of like general piping work over here. We have these really awesome log pieces that honestly look a lot better than Planet Zoo's log pieces. You have mesh day one, which is incredible. You have two different kinds of like mesh panels. So you get this square one, which is very helpful. And you also get a chain link one, which is also very helpful as well. Those all come in all different shapes and sizes, which is very helpful. But you also get rope, which again, guess what? It is indeed scalable. Look at that. You can have really tiny rope or you can have really big rope. It's so helpful. And I believe, okay, rope is not flexi color, which is a little bit of a shame, but hey, what can you do? You have an entire HVAC system, which is very helpful. I know people like to build very realistically, and each piece actually has an end in itself, which is so helpful. It doesn't just end out completely. So that is just very, very cool to see. You even get like a nice cap right there. And yeah, you got like a trash bin, you get like stop signs, you get these little kind of garden markers, switches, you get plugs, outlets, you get these curb pieces, and you also get some really cool signage over there, which is very fun. Just throw those up for realism points. You have the gutter set making a fantastic appearance. You got these very cool beam pieces, which I know a lot of people like to do their custom supports and stuff like that. These are more so for water parks and stuff, but you can definitely find some creative uses for those. You have your jetty pieces too, making an appearance from Planet Zoo. You got these mesh pieces. You got this iconic Planet Zoo fence right there. And you also get, these aren't really part of that. You also get these cloud pieces, so you can really make some nice kind of decorative colored clouds. I don't know, get creative with it. So yeah, moving on from there, we'll check out some of these market pieces. I believe these are part of the Greek theme, but honestly, these fit the bill for every single theme out there. You get these little fruits in here, which are flexi colors. So you can have apples, oranges. I like that. It just helps keep it like a lot more broad. You have these different kinds of like, you know, marketplace decorations in terms of like, oh yeah, the bundles. You have bins, you have baskets, you have barrels, all that good stuff. You also have boatyard netting. This is more so for the Viking theme right here, but you can find a lot of fun ways to actually make this applicable to all the other themes too, which is just so fun. I don't know. Love this boatyard log piece right here. This chunky boy. Look at him. But he doesn't need to be chunky because you can make him tiny or you can make him huge. Whatever you want. Like a look at that. I don't know. That's just so iconic. All general pieces over here. Once again, we have some Planet Zoo modern lights. You have activation stuff over here so you can have them be triggered. I think these are actually FlexiColor. So yeah, you can change out the base of the color over there, but I think the lights themselves can be FlexiColored. Yep, there you go. You can change out the light. So if you want a red light, you can kind of see it right there, but it shows better at nighttime. Speakers, once again, you can change the tracks. Here are all of the tracks. We'll check these out later, but you get some ambient stuff, and you also get some very fun music in there. And yeah, just 5 different types of speakers, which is so helpful. I don't know, because these 2 were the only ones, actually these 3 were the only ones in Base Game Planet Zoo, but this is the kind that I wanted. Like, this is the kind that you actually see in real parks, real zoos, all that stuff. So I don't know, it's just so iconic. All right, the submarine set. Everything is FlexiColor. You guys already know the deal. But yeah, these guys can be activated, and they do have different kinds of forms. So you can set them as static, or you can set them as spin, whatever you want. Yeah, just really, really awesome pieces in here. If you want to make your own submarine, you totally can. These are kind of like the opening doors that you can have for your rides and stuff like that. You have this porthole right there. I don't know. Like, so many awesome pieces in here that really just help to make such awesome, awesome parks. I love these rod pieces over here too. These kind of like, I don't know what you call it, the pipes. Yeah, really, really awesome modular set to build with over there. You can have so much creative liberty with that. You got these really iconic looking doors, not only for like submarine themes, but you can also have like these be like, I don't know, backstage doors. You can have these be for like restaurants and stuff, because that looks exactly like a freezer door right there. And yeah, just look beyond what you have at your hands over here, because everything has so many different purposes that, like, I don't know, you can have these crates be for like, you know, a science kind of convention. You have all these sign pieces over here, but you don't need to use these just as signs. Everything in here is just fantastic. You have some really cool lights. You have these really cool like roofing pieces. It's awesome. And yeah, going back to these pieces over here, I kind of skipped over these. These are just your general kind of like floaties. So if you want like a stack of like these inflatables, you totally can. I love, I love the silly ones like that. I hope we get a silly one in each like installment of DLC. I feel like that would be so, so fun. Also, that just looks wrong. And we get a look at these basic iron girders. Again, very useful pieces over here, especially that little baby one right there. Actually, no, these are actually supposed to be a little bit higher, but you can see the full outline of them right there. That's totally fine. You got some inverted ones over there. You got some curved ones, and you also get the resort kind of beams right over here too. I'm going to actually split these up and move them over to our resort theme area. I think it's over here. Everything is kind of out of order, but all these pieces, like, listen, you're not going to be just using these pieces for their individual areas. You're going to be mixing, matching them. Let's check out the big stuff back here first, too. I don't know. Just because we kind of need to. I mean, look at the eels. So, yeah, I remember Geekism kind of brought these guys up, and he was like, oh, my God, they're the best things ever. And I was like, I did not get the chance to see them, but they are so fun. I don't know. I love that stuff. You got some basic stuff too, like you got your very basic looking King Coaster, Queen Splash. You get a lot of them actually over here. You get this manta ray piece, which is very fun. You can set them to loop, you can set them to idle, you can set them to spin fast, which is kind of funny. But yeah, you got a bunch of balloon pieces which actually wave depending on how the kind of wind is going. Get a couple flag pieces, which are very fun. You can make some really basic looking parks with that, but like basic in like the best way possible. These really fun looking kind of like flag pieces. Love that kind of stuff right there. More balloons, more jazz, and I don't know. It's just very fun. These sculptures, I did not even notice that. That is so cool. So it kind of looks like they're making their way up, but it's just rotating on an x-axis. That's really fun. And yeah, this all aquatic theme over here too. You get like the big deep sea fish right here, kind of creepy looking guy. And you also get the shark over here, which you saw in a completed blueprint back there. Very fun piece. A little bit more basic pieces over here too. These technically are also facilities if you check them out in the facilities tab, but these are just the scenery equivalents of them. You get the coach as well as the ferry. Both can function as entrances to your park. You just got to make sure that you actually select the facility one instead of the real one. Well, the scenery one, I mean. You can probably tell the difference because the facility one actually comes out like that, and that door is open on the coach over there. But yeah, you can kind of tuck your little food stands inside of these tuk-tuks, which is very fun. These little, whatever you call them. These little cars. And yeah, this is going to be very helpful for doing like parking lots and stuff like that, just for a sense of scale. I think I'm gonna save all the building sets for later, like all the wall sets, because those are so good. But yeah, we can check out all the wheels. This is kind of a mix between the Mythology and the Viking set over here, but you do get some very fun wheels over here. They are able to be put on the kind of animated platforms that we checked out right over there, so you can have them spin. But yeah, very fun pieces over here, and they are all flexi color, not entirely, actually, yeah, entirely. So yeah, if you want like a white metal and then you want like a red wood, you can definitely do that kind of stuff. Very fun. And yeah, you can change these out to be like clockwise, anti-clockwise is basically just supposed to hold that guy up right there, and that's supposed to hold that guy up right there. This is all part of the Greek theme, and it's just so pretty. All of the kind of Greek statues that we have over here, we get some very nice marble pieces. And we also get all the frozen guests because, yeah, Medusa is in the game, which is very fun. You also get these very iconic, huge marble statues, too, which are so pretty. And yeah, these go with the Viking theme right over here, too, which is, yeah, it's very fun. I love a good sword. Someone please make the Iron Throne out of that, because that would be so fun. And yeah, I hope you guys don't really mind if everything is kind of out of order, because, hey, what can you do? These are all the Greek theme, though. These are some very lovely pillar pieces. We have a ruined one, and we have two clean ones right there. And we also have these very beautiful draperies. I don't know, I feel like you can do some really fun custom hotel rooms with these. And yeah, it's just very, very awesome, useful pieces. You got these ones over there, which are kind of like corner pieces. And you also get some very general basic ones, kind of like that. You get the trireme, which is part of the Mythology set. I love triremes so much. They're some of my favorite kinds of boats out there. And yep, they're completely customizable. So if you want to do like a Pirates of the Caribbean, but instead it's actually Greek themed, you totally can. And they also come with their own little banners too. In case if you don't like that sail right there and you want like a little bit more of a basic one. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can kind of play with it and try and hide that as best as you can if you don't want the Planet Coaster logo on there. But hey, what can you do? These are part of the resort theme over here. These are just really, really awesome pieces. I've started to use these a little bit, but it's just honestly perfectly hotel room sized, like hotel balcony kind of size, which is very fun. You'll see that in my next episode, which is so exciting. I just recorded the audio for it too, which is so fun. You get some basic Planco doors over here. They're all flexi color, very fun. Okay, the entire resort theme is incredible. Everything is scalable except for like the actual modular building sets. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, you have everything in here flexi color. Everything's flexi color, everything's scalable. It's so awesome. Surfboards, you get these little like sign pieces in here, resort window curtains. You get these really awesome bamboo pieces in here, which can be flexi colored. You get these over here, just general basic kind of plastic shapes, but that is so helpful and it's so welcome too, because I don't know, I always find myself making stuff like this, but I never had pieces exactly for it. So that's so fun. Really awesome wood pieces in here too. It's just so helpful to make like custom docks. Little tiny bamboo piece over there too, which is going to be so helpful. The more tiny pieces, the better. And I think this guy can be scaled down to tremendously tiny sizes. So if you want to do like a custom mug or something, you totally can. That's so fun right there. But yeah, just a whole bunch of general basic stuff. I love these doors. I love these ones right here most of all because they come preloaded with curtains. So you can really have the effect. And they are 3D too, which is very interesting. Let me try and show that off. So yeah, there are 3D models of those in there too. So it does have this kind of depth look. So it does react with like the sun and all that stuff. So it's really, really helpful for making iconic hotel rooms. You have a whole bunch of signage from the resort theme too. You get all of these lovely tropical posters, all scalable too, which is extremely helpful. You get these lovely building sets too back here too. Lots of nice little trims. You get balcony pieces. You get these like very, very beautiful looking, I don't know what you call that, but that is really fun. All these different lights. You get a Jeep too, which is pretty fun. I think that's just a little bit oversized, but you can probably scale that. You definitely can scale that. But yeah, you get all these nice little animal pieces too, which is fun. You got these girder pieces, which are just so helpful. And you also get these little building pieces right over here, scaffolding. That is so helpful. This goes with the aquatic theme as well. These are just more kind of like submarine pieces over here, a little bit tinier ones, which is always so good. And yeah, the resort theme, it just keeps going. This is a little bit more of the Planco theme though. And I did have these changing rooms over here, which, whoops, we'll move those back over here so we can have everyone living nice together in harmony. But yeah, lots of basic windows over here, basic door opening. You get editable null text, which is so fun. So you can do kind of like, wow, that's so cool. I don't know. It's just, it's something we've been wanting for so long in this game, and it's so good. You got a whole bunch of different like font sets too. So you have like a Greek one, you have like a Rancho theme, you got this really beautiful kind of like brushstroke looking one. It's so fun. But yeah, you got all these different signs in here. You got like a whole bunch of areas for you to type in them. It's all so cool. But I don't know. If I were you, I would just use these on top of these because I don't know. I feel like you can't get where you want stuff to look in there. I don't know. And yeah, just a bunch more general basic building pieces. I love these so much. Oh my gosh. All the Planet Zoo theme, not Planet Coaster theme. There we go. So it's all very basic. It should be unlocked for you in franchise mode and like career mode automatically. So that's very helpful. But yeah, it's just really awesome building pieces. Here we get to see a huge chunk of the mythological set. You can see all these beautiful kind of iron gates, all these very huge doors. We got this kind of fire looking stuff back there, which is so fun. Even up there too, you got some fake looking fire. So cool. We got the Minotaur pieces up here. Very fun stuff, but I love these over here. The rubble pieces. These are so helpful. I don't know. And yeah, just some general basic looking kind of Greek looking stuff. It's so cool. Everything is scalable, except my only qualm with these, is that we have this perfect block. But if I want it to be all black, it's still kind of shiny, which like in some cases is very good. But if I'm making like, you know, a dilapidated ruin and stuff, it's not going to be shiny anymore. It's going to be a little bit matte, which I wish we had a matte version of that. But hey, what can you do? All right, I could talk your ear off about all these, but listen, it's all FlexiColor. It's all scalable. It's all pretty. I mean, just look at these. Oh my God. All these pieces are incredible. And even these two, like all these beautiful urns, they're all FlexiColor too. So you can make some really awesome like shops with all those. You get these ruin columns too, which again, they're marble, so unfortunately they will be a little bit shiny. And speaking of shiny, you get some really awesome shiny pieces over here too, if that is exactly what you want. Yeah, just really awesome pieces to help make like a clean looking mythological themed park or like a nice Greek theme park. Very fun stuff. You also get these kind of whatever you call these metal plaques. You got a bunch of signs too, which again, these are all editable, so you can kind of type on them. But again, I really recommend just using that null text sign that we checked out over there on top of whatever else you're building, because it's so much better than this. I also love that toilet sign. That makes me very happy. And yeah, they also come with a few animatronics too. You get this Medusa statue, and you also get this Minotaur statue, which we checked out earlier. He's annoying me though, so I'm going to set him as deactivated. If you want to build your giant Zeus as well, you can. These pieces all perfectly snap together. Just make sure to have snap to position on, and then you can start to piece together your big old Zeus right there. All right, that is a good chunk of the mythological set done. I believe that's actually most of it. So now we can kind of move on to the Viking set, which has a ton of stuff. Also just general basic pieces over here too. Air conditioner, you get some very good, like, I don't know, what do you call these, anchor plates? Sure. They all snap together, which is very helpful. But yeah, this is growing to be one of my favorite rock pieces in here. It's just a nice general basic rock piece. I don't know. You get all this lovely market stall decorations and like all these flags. So much humor in these, which makes me so happy. The bear with the guy right there. I don't know. You got the coasters. That is so fun. You got a little family. You got King Coaster and Queen Splash right there. It's just so good. You got a little Tweety bird right there. This is so fun. Oh my God. What I love though are these pieces over here. These are just like big fur pieces, which I don't know. Maybe someone's going to make like a custom bear animatronic with these by just overlaying them on top of each other. I think that might be so fun. And yeah, you get some giant pieces over here too. So if you're making like a giant axe, you got that piece right there, a giant mace, you got that. You got these opening and shutting doors, which are very fun. You can deactivate those too if you want. Bunch of doors, bunch of windows, very helpful stuff back there. You also get this forge, which we checked out earlier in the blueprints overview, very fun. You got another forge right there, which is very loud. I'm going to pause them because they're annoying me. But like this is where it all comes together. This, like, all of these tiny little details. What people are going to do with these is going to be mind-boggling. What all the tiny details you can fit in there, Lord knows what you guys are going to make with that. It's going to be so good. But you also got some very nice shipwreck pieces in here. And the best part about these is that they are not entirely like, I don't know. Well, I think these are actually the aquatic theme, but you can still use these for a Viking theme, which is fun. I don't know. Again, you can mix and match. You get all these different shields in here with all these different patterns and then these different like metal facades. That's just so fun. And more windows. This set is incredible. Look at all these. You get all these trims. You get these really awesome wood pieces. But these pieces right here, we need to talk about these. These are the best pieces in the game. I am sorry, but like the fact that you can scale these up and then you can have like a really awesome looking brick pathway. Like that to me is so worth it. You can do so much awesome theming with that. You can hide them in rocks. Stay tuned for my water park that's coming up soon because I use the heck out of those. And yeah, you got some really awesome like city building stuff over here. You got some like a windmill kit, which is fun, but you can also just make like general houses with them, which is very iconic. The windmills can move. I believe they all actually move, which is great. Again, you get like a whole shipbuilding set over here. You can have like all these beautiful, beautiful pieces. Ladders too, which is very good, very helpful. Very good wood pieces too. You got single ones over here. Viking jetty. These are going to be so helpful for making like wooden buildings and stuff like that. Especially these guys right here, the posts. I know that they don't look like much and I know that they're kind of spiky, but you got to think of like a pro planet builder and you got to kind of turn these up on themselves. Then you get some really awesome looking wood pieces. The same goes for these. If you flip these upside down, then put them on top of each other, you just get a very good log cabin looking wood piece. It's going to be so helpful. And yeah, you get the ruins. You get the runes, sorry. You get the rune set over here. Very fun pieces. You get a couple chests back here too. You get wooden crates, wooden barrel, very fun. You get some Viking statues too. You get some little tiny guys over here. They're so adorable. But yeah, all the signage, all the sconces, all of like the fire pieces. That is so fun. I love that little sign right there, the grog. That is fun. But yeah, you get some very fun signage over here too. You got the sword, you get the bathrooms, you got meat. You get meat sign. But like the entire Viking set is incredible. It's so helpful. Like it has all the useful pieces in there and most of them aren't even like themed to Viking, or at least you can make them look like they're not themed to Viking. I don't know. You can do so much with it. Okay, we're gonna check out all of like the walls and like the floors and stuff like that. Everything is relatively the same. So what we're gonna do, we're going to just look for floor and then just kind of go through all of them. Aquatic corrugated is very helpful and it is flexi color, so you can kind of change out these colors over here to get a little bit more of what you want. Aquatic beveled, once again, is flexi color, so you can kind of change it out for whatever color you want. There's also some corner pieces too, which is very fun, but we're not going to dive too much into that. You do have a bamboo floor too, which is very, very pretty. I mean, just look at that stuff. We're going to place that guy down right there. You got the breeze blocks, which if you have played Planet games for a while, you'll know they were never flexi color, but now they are, which is so good. The bricks, once again, were never really flexi color, but look at this. They're finally flexi color, which is so good, especially if you were never a fan of like that specific color of red. If you want like a nice dark firehouse red or something like that, you can totally do that. Okay, we're pausing you. Sorry. We get the painted brick floor, which again was always flexi color. Very good piece right there. Divided plaster floor, which is so good because you get this nice iconic kind of like swaying platform in there. I know we have custom paths now, but you can get some really cool customer paths if you really want it. You got the marble block floor. Again, these are all flexi color. You probably don't need to see me do it. The modern wood floor is flexi color. That's actually exciting. So yeah, you can do kind of like a nice like New York beachfront style kind of like boardwalk. That's fun. Panel floor, again, indoor area build, perfect for that. Plaster floor, probably one of my favorite pieces in here, except it doesn't get as dark as I would want it to. I don't know, that's a little weird. Stone market floor, very, very good piece over here. I love these. Again, I'm a Planet Zoo player, so I always do love my stone, my nature, all that stuff. So that is just a fantastic piece right there. You have the stone ruin floor, which again is kind of the same jazz that we had going on. Do these match up well? They kind of match up well, which is kind of fun. The Viking wooden floor is perfect. You can absolutely use this for like an Old West saloon if you really want. You can have these colors really come out. The wood beam floor is a little weird. I'm not sure the practicality of this. It's a little strange, but maybe you could do some cool optical illusions with it, I guess. I don't know. And you also get a very basic wooden floor too. This is entirely FlexiColor, which is very good. All of these are FlexiColor. All of these are FlexiColor. So you can change these all to black. You can change these all to black. Look at this stuff. I don't know. That to me is just so cool how you can have everything really matched together. I don't know. Of course, everything is set to black and you can still see some colors poking out through some of these, which isn't as perfect as I would want it, but at least it stops them from looking like terrible, which is really good. But yeah, those are all of the wall sets that we officially have right over here. Very, very good stuff. I don't know. Let's change these all to like that nice chocolatey kind of brown, which I think might be fun. So yeah, it looks like my mother's beige house. I don't know, but it still looks so good all together. That is iconic. And yeah, basically all of those come with, you know, their roofs. Actually, did we check out the roofs? Okay, this is why we organize. We also have a whole bunch of roof sets in here. Aged wood, corrugated. That's a wood plank roof. That's one of the new ones. You also got the tiled roof over here, which is just a nice shingled kind of look. The tiled roof flat over there is going to be super helpful. You also get the entire thatch set. There we go. Okay. A little bit more of a 3D piece, which is fine. You got a metal roof too, which is kind of fun. You got a steel roof. You got metal corrugated roof. You get market roof. You get gilded roof, which is just the gold version of that. And I think that should be it, except for wooden roof, which, did I put that down? I don't think I put that down. I just did though. So yeah, you get even more building sets if you want to get even nittier to the grittier. And yeah, again, once more, they are all FlexiColors. So if we want to go beige once more with it all, you can see that these really, really do adhere to this theme very well. So much customizability in all of these that it's just going to be so awesome to see what people are able to do with this many kind of theme sets. All right, sure, let's do it. We have a whole bunch different staff types. Sure, why not? We're going to cover everything. Here we have the janitor, the mechanic, the vendor. We have the lifeguard right over there. We have a ride attendant. We can officially hire these guys, and they are the neediest guys ever. Can't stand them. We do have Chief Beef, though. We do have Gulpy, very handsome right there. We do have the Cosmic Cow. Queen Splash is making her triumphant appearance, as well as King Coaster right there. We also get, Crescendo Melodies? Sure. You get Saguaro Guitaro. That's a really good name. You also get this guy over here, Sandy Reef. You got Bodhi, beautiful looking shark right there. Love him. And you also get the Viking. My favorite part about, I believe, Crescendo, Sandy Reef, and the Viking is that they all have like different gender counterparts, which is so fun. So I think if I just cycle through them all, you can see that we have all the genders for all these little guys over here. Does Bodhi have a counterpart? No, he doesn't. Okay, I guess Sandy Reef doesn't, but we do have a different one for Crescendo. But that is just so fun. I don't know. You get all these incredible new staff members, which is so fun to do. Vending machines also make an appearance as well. You get the food ones for Pizza Pen, Hot Dog Squad, and Viva Vegan. You also get ones for Gulpy, Pip Shot, as well as So Delightful. I love the aesthetic of that one right there. There's only 4 staff facilities this time around. You get a workshop, you get a large staff room, you get a small staff room, and you also have the staff room, which is smaller, I guess. I don't know. You get 3 staff rooms and a workshop. That's all you need, I guess. And yeah, honestly, I would love to pad out the timestamp of this video, but honestly, I'm getting annoyed with the length. But yeah, you get a whole bunch of awesome new shops as well. Each one does come with both a dedicated store as well as a counter. The counters you can kind of put down anywhere on a given pathway, and guests will just line up for them too. The only issue is you got to set them to open so they can actually automatically hire a staff member. And listen, this overview is covered so much, but listen, there are so many different coaster prefabs in here that there's so many for you guys to show off on your own. Cause I don't know, I would love to show off all of these, but like, I don't know, what's there to say? I mean, it's just awesome. If you're if you don't know too much about like building kind of like I do coasters, you can definitely have a lot of fun with just the theming on these. I don't know. But yeah, there's 3 of them in the actual tracked rides. There's at least, there's 28 on the flat rides, and there's 54 in the coasters. So if you ever need to figure out how to make a coaster, just plop one down, see how they make it, and then try and recreate it on your own. There's going to be so many opportunities for you to do that. And there's so many ways to get inspired from these too, because look at this queue line. I don't know, like how the colors switch up, how the colors match up with all the colors on the reef. I don't know, that is just so fun right there. Okay, let's talk about the terrain too. Why not? You can have the terrain brush go up to 30 meters. You can have the intensity up to 100% and the hardness up to 100% as well. You can set the hardness down to about like 90 and it won't be as intense, but if you set the hardness up even more, it essentially covers, like, look at this, okay? You see the circle over there? If you switch the hardness down, it shrinks. So it mostly comes up from that little circle bit right there. But if you set the hardness up even higher, it just makes the entire thing come up quicker. But probably the coolest thing about the terrain editor is how we officially have like 14, 15 different kinds of terrain to mess around with. So yeah, you get a bunch of soil, you get dry dirt, you get mud, you get gravel, all this stuff. Each one is different for each map. I'm not going to show off every single one of those, maybe just yet, maybe I will later. But yeah, you can get 12 different kinds of terrains on at least the temperate map, which is very fun. And you can do automatic painting if you want those nice little crevices and those cliffs to really stand out. And last but not least, I'll show off the scenery brush. So there are a bunch of presets in here. So if you want temperate forest trees, you can set the intensity either like super high or super low. If you want the intensity super high towards the edge of a map so you can have like a nice forest looking thing, you can absolutely do that stuff back there. But if you want it coming a little bit closer to where your guests are, you can kind of have it be a little bit less intense and then have it automatically put down some trees. And again, you can kind of mix in some rocks too, so it just blends in together so well. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of presets in here for you to discover, but what I love, well, I made an entire brush and it's not here. So yeah, you gotta constantly invent a new brush every single time, but yeah, that's great. Now, last but not least, we do have some very iconic stuff in here as well for all of your park needs. We are going to go over pretty much all the special effects. We're not going to go too much into detail with them, but hey, what can you do? All of them can be controlled by the event sequencer, so if you are having like a fireworks show or like a water jet show, you can definitely play with it. But you do have all these different effects in here. They are all organized, so you can see these little arrows down here. They have the 3 arrows, they have the 2 arrows, and they have the 1 arrow. So they all represent different sizes of these because unfortunately a lot of these can't be scaled. But you do have dirt blowing, which is very cool. You have snow blowing, which is very cool. We'll start to get rid of all of these as they come up. You have steam boiling, which is very helpful in case if you have like a lava kind of dark ride. I don't know. I love the bubble ones, so I absolutely love the bubble ones. They're so calm. I'm going to keep them there. You also have a large version of the bubbles too, which is going to be so fun, especially for like large plazas. I don't know. You also get like a thin bubble jet too, which is very fun. You have confetti too, which in case if you have like a ride that is a dueling ride, I suppose, you can have confetti come up at whatever the winner is. I have that planned for a future video. And yeah, don't get too scared, but we do have explosions. It's very fun just to see them kind of go like that. Yeah, come on, do it again. Do it again. There you go. Very fun. It's very distracting though. It's like you have falling blossom right next to it and then you just have big explosion. But yeah, you have a bunch of this general kind of foliage ones. You have falling leaves. You have falling like different falling leaves and stuff like that. Very fun stuff, but it really just helps to sell a vibe of a park. I don't know. I thought I deleted you. Get out of here. You have glitter, which is very fun. You have a laser, which that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. You can have it kind of pop up. That is flexi-color too, which is cool. You have metallic confetti, which is awesome. You have mist, which is going to be so helpful, especially for like taking pictures and stuff. You have rising steam. We'll give that a little bit for it to kind of play out. It doesn't go as tall as I would like for it to go, but that's all right. You have smoke bursts, which are very cool. You have sparks, which are going to be really fun for like dark rides if you're going like through a sci-fi ship. You have underwater bubbles, which don't appear normally, but if you do go, hopefully, underwater, you can see that it does start to shoot them up. And it is very rapid too, which is good. I like that. You got water jets, of course. These guys are pretty iconic. Of course, they don't really look like that. They look a lot more like this. You got 3 different versions of them. Unfortunately, they're unable to be scaled, which is a shame. You get rapids foam, which is going to be good in case if you're making like a flowing river. So that looks really, really awesome right there. You get splashes, which are cool. You get all this different stuff. Water sprinklers, which are fun. It's just very, very, I don't know how you describe it. It's very calm. You get waterfall bottoms. Waterfalls are their own. They're their own beast over there. You got tops of them, so like if you want to put this one at the top right there, you can. And then you match that up with the waterfall middle, which you kind of put right there, which is very fun. There's a lot of fun to be had with waterfalls, so definitely check that stuff out on your own. And of course, we have a giant water splash too, which is so cool. So yeah, you can have these big splash effects once a ride or once a peep kind of goes down through it. It's fun. Okay, with that being said, I think we've officially covered everything. So thank you all so much for stopping by. This was such a fun showcase to do. There's so much to be seen, and we did not even begin to scrape the surface of this game. There's so many awesome things that you can do with coasters that, like, I don't even know how to start with that stuff. Definitely check out all the other creators today as they put out their iconic overviews and their reviews and all that stuff. Maybe some might even have some builds planned. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, my friends. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much to Frontier for the early access, especially with this game, the Planet series, more so Roller Coaster Tycoon series, which is also another Frontier title. It's always been so close and dear to my heart that it feels crazy to be able to showcase it like this for you guys, really be able to show what you're capable of in this game now. And yeah, we'll end it right there. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you all in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.
Eso onda. Veo.